Hello there! From behind the yellow line, this is Eureka. My name is Kirk, and today I'm joined by my friend, and he's not sure if Coco is the dog or the kid, Freddy.
Ahoy there, everybody. Our Eureka topic of the week is DCA now and forever.
Hello, everyone. Welcome aboard Trammin, a Disneyland podcast. Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding. As a courtesy to other passengers, we ask that there be no eating, drinking, or smoking on board. In just a few moments, we will begin our trip into the Disneyland Resort news and topic of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, this tram is ready to depart. Driver, you are clear.
Welcome back to Trammin, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We're your hosts, Kirk and Freddy. What's up, Freddy? Do you know that reference?
No.
I was going to sing it.
Oh, boy.
But I didn't. It is, maybe I'll, cut it in.
Mm-hmm.
So then they won't know why I'm asking you if you heard me say it. Anyways, it is the song Outro by M83. And it is...
Okay.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. If I need you out there, dear listener, to tell me what you know that song from, because it's been used in many things. I will tell you now. For me, it is the Paragon reveal trailer. And that's all I'll say. So if you know what I'm talking about, you're a real one, you let me know. Otherwise, let me know what it's about. But yeah, better song than Midnight City. There was a solid 3 years it was played on K-Rock every single day.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's up, Freddy?
Hi.
Yeah, I didn't even let you say what.
No, it's all. It was cool. I mean, you got to explain some of the references you make, and that's okay. But yeah, doing good. Life's happening. Things are happening. We just celebrated my wife's birthday, so that was really fun.
Happy birthday, Anna.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, my wife.
My wife.
Oh yeah. That birthday celebration just keeps on going. We got so many things planned this week. Having a lot of fun, and then next week we're off in Florida in Orlando. So
that's dude. We're all just off, huh?
Oh man, yeah. Things are happening. We're catching each other in between to get these episodes out to you. And this is kind of keeping things going.
This is going to be our most current episode of Eureka ever.
That's awesome. That's great.
We are recording this Tuesday night.
Yeah, right before the actual anniversary date. So we're really close there. Sadly, missing a little kind of Imagineering panel that they're going to be doing at the hotel on the 7th. So kind of just slightly skirting by any announcements that are made there. But I'm pretty sure we'll be able to cover everything today that's happening.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
there can't possibly be any more news this week after what we had today. So we're going to get into that a little bit later.
Yeah. So, let's clean up my terrible explanations for references with mousekeeping. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard Trammin, a Disneyland podcast where we talk about the Disneyland Resort through and only through our eyes. Listen to full episodes every Wednesday or topic-only uploads on Big Thunder Thursdays. If you enjoy the show, like, subscribe, comment, and review us wherever you can, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, Rain's favorite, YouTube. Head to trammin.com/ask to write into the show and request access to our Discord. You can find links to Rain's Shirt Company, Tiki Kingdom, Bublina's Bread, Sourdough, and lore on Trammin.com.
Yes, you can.
So let's get in some news. So, first up, this isn't really a headline. I'm just going to say it like this. They just slapped a logo on a t-shirt. DCA 25th anniversary festivities and offerings. So Disney is officially acknowledging the 25th anniversary of Disney California Adventure Park.
And they're acknowledging the park. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
It exists. It's not just a whole resort.
So it opened February 8th, 2001.
Yeah.
like and they're doing a little tribute to that.
Yeah, a few things.
Yeah, Mickey and Minnie will have all new outfits that are unfortunately very 70th themed.
A little bit, but the colors are altered enough that they almost feel like Eureka or DCA.
Yeah, Minnie's got the
1.0.
sun,
Mickey has the badge with the sun and the waves, just like the original California Adventure logo. So I love little throwbacks like that. I am disappointed that we don't have throwback merch, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I want to celebrate something that you've been paving over for the last 25 years. But it is kind of fun to see him acknowledge it a little bit. I mean, I remember back before it was the Magic Key Lounge. When that first opened up, you could actually go in there and all the cocktails were themed to the original California Adventure attractions.
They still
a few of them are still there. Yeah.
But they don't care as much anymore.
No.
But Soarin' Over California returns February 6th and goes through July 1st.
See us soaring around the world.
Yeah.
We got our new king in town.
So that goes until through July 1st.
Yeah.
Because on July 2nd, we will get Soarin' Across America, which is a celebration of America's 250th anniversary. So long time for Soarin'. We're going.
Excellent.
We got to just remind people about St. Trammin's Day, March 13th, Friday, March 13th.
Make sure you got those reservations, folks.
Yeah, 5 p.m., Hollywood Lounge. And then I believe my plan was by 6:30, we will be at or heading to Soarin' Over California.
Yep, that's
so
definitely happening.
if you are skipping Hollywood Lounge, be at Soarin' at 6:30. If we are not there at 6:30 or before then, we have not gotten on the ride. 6:30 is bathroom time, and then we all get on. So those are the two things, and then we'll see what happens after. So hour and a half of mingling, and then we just get going.
Yeah.
But there's...
I'm just going to keep going through the little list here. Yeah. So we have a Ferris wheel. We have the Mickey's Fun Wheel done as a popcorn bucket, which I think the price was shocking people at like $50.
They said it's the first time an attraction is a popcorn bucket?
Is itself a popcorn bucket. Like it's not a dune buggy or something.
I think
it's
this is
attraction.
Literally the model from Dreamlight Valley.
It does kind of look like that. But it does light up, and it actually has like the glow with the show element. So it's supposed to match up with World of Color, as well as I guess other areas in the park. It'll do little jingles and react to. It'll be interesting to see how that works, but there's no way a lot of people are going to buy this thing just to lug it around all day. That's a little ridiculous.
It's close.
Yeah, it is very close. It's that sort of squashed, cartoonish look of the
colors are the same.
Wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, yes, as we mentioned, just slapping the logo on merchandise. They're going to have a hoodie, a t-shirt, and a hat available starting on the 6th. So,
food bucket and merch, as they say. So the food got a couple items. No, not this one. Come on. I don't want to view this on Instagram. So the one food they have is it's a shake at Schmoozies.
That's it. Happy birthday shake.
Decadent cake shake.
Wonderful.
Confetti shake with strawberry icing, sprinkles, whipped topping, not even whipped cream. And a slice of cake.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can get all this stuff at a bunch of places. There's a commemorative map on February 8th.
Feel bad I'm flying out of town that day, so I won't be able to pick it up.
You don't need a map.
Oh, collecting maps is fun.
I don't think I'm gonna buy. I might buy the T-shirt.
Yeah.
But it's probably some thin garbage like it is now.
Yeah.
I don't like these pins. I showed you those pins, right? The mystery ones.
The mystery ones.
I posted it in the Discord.
The ones that were on the table.
Did you click through that? No.
There's different pins?
There is a collection of DCA pins released in the Golden Age right before Mission Breakout. Oh. And I put a link in the Discord, but it only showed one. I'll open it. It's in the...
Yeah, definitely show me.
Check out Discord. Go to... did you put in news maybe? Because of the merch?
Oh, I see it. Yep. Yeah.
So open that up.
I'm opening it.
I have all of them.
Oh my goodness. Those look great.
Yeah. They're beautiful.
Total golden
They
age.
peaked right there.
Yeah, that's it.
I have all of them, but the Mickey Fun Wheel, which I might just buy for $25 on eBay.
I think it's worth it for a complete collection.
Yeah. Because I was able to like trade for them.
And then your collection goes up in value because it's complete.
Yeah. So that was a good time.
That is cool.
Yeah, that's we'll have what's his face?
Humphrey the Bear is coming to the Grand Californian Hotel beginning February 6th. He will be a part of the Storytellers Cafe for those character meals. Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Yeah, a Grand Californian pin, but I have like 100 better Grand Californian pins specifically.
It's just because it's an anniversary pin, so it's somehow decreased in quality, which is odd.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that should be opening, I believe, on the 6th, isn't it? Napa Rose is opening?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Check on that.
Yeah, it's a separate item. Downtown Disney, though, has a 25th anniversary. It's already passed, but there will be a pin.
Yeah, February
totes.
6th. Yeah.
You have to buy them.
Yeah, so Napa Rose is also reopening February 6th. So everything California Adventure, Grand Californian Hotel, Downtown Disney, it's all February 6th. That's the date. What are your thoughts on the new Napa Rose and new lounge that's coming to the Napa Rose? They've kind of redesigned the whole space.
I think it looks great. If I'm nitpicking, the only thing I don't like are the slats on the ceiling. Too modern. We don't need those slats anymore. That's a Bob Iger loves the Apple Store thing.
Yeah, he does.
No, like what is it? Creations?
Oh,
Connections?
no. Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's Connections Lounge at Epcot. But overall, it does look like just an update to bring it. I will say it's modern styling, but not modern aesthetic. It's just updated to be like, oh, we're better at replicating this style, but it's still the Craftsman style. It still looks like Napa Rose. It doesn't look like it's stuck in 2001 anymore.
Yeah.
It looks like it's evolved from 2001, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when they like remake a video game, but they did the same thing. It's just like, this is what it probably should have looked like, you know? So I think it looks great.
Yeah, I'm happy that they haven't changed it so much that it's no longer the Grand Californian, premier restaurant. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that is. Definitely checking out the lounge. I don't think I'll be doing the prefix dinner anytime soon.
Yeah,
it's a little pricey.
I'll take a look at what the menu is. My problem with prefix is, it's no shade to my wife, but it's like, the thing with prefix, especially with like high-end restaurants, they'll be like, here's some super weird item. And I can't expect her to try it. Now, she did try, no, I'll tell you guys, and we have it so good. She does try things. But sometimes a prefix menu will be like, hey, here's just like a whole fish, which is great. But like most people aren't going to eat the whole fish.
No.
So I don't want to like waste money. Prefix is easier than like chef's table. See, I'm definitely a person where if a chef gives me something, I will eat it.
Yeah.
But you have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the other problem with like omakase, right? I'm down, but I know a lot of people are not. So that's okay. But we'll probably go there at some point.
Yeah. They built a whole new space attached to Napa Rose as part of the lounge. So there's an outdoor little, scenery thing. So you can actually look into the park a little bit, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Freddie, get me a connect who will tell me what's the strategy to getting into Napa Rose?
Yeah, I wonder if it's just when they have the hours listed for the like lunch and dinner time.
You just go.
If you want to just sneak in, you just go in. I know for the lounge, that's not going to be a reservation base. That's a walk-up only space.
Okay.
So getting in there should be possible. I don't know about on the 6th.
I think,
but in general, it should be okay to get in there.
I think after 1 week, nobody in
hype will die.
Nobody in the Disney sphere will care because they have no taste. So,
and you are going to be looking at significantly more expensive cocktails and everything like that. This is going to be a premier experience compared to the other lounges. So definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah, I don't think the influencers are going to be hanging out over there.
Definitely not.
Yeah, because they won't. See, they can't do the influencer thing of trying something and throwing it in the trash right afterwards.
Yeah.
Like I said a little too early, the Downtown Disney stuff. There is a Bananas Foster's Beignets at Beignets Express, a French 70 at Jazz Kitchen, which I feel like they have that all the time. Kayla's Cake has some stuff I don't care about, I'm going to be honest. Vista Parkside Market. Parkside Birders Club. Guests 21 and older can taste and learn how to make 3 cocktails and receive a $20 bounce back for Parkside Market and a collectible pin.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They're trying everything they can.
Wetzel's Pretzels has Incredibits.
Okay.
Original bits with toppings available in 3 flavors. Vacation packages. And 2026 California resident ticket offer.
Yep.
If you forgot, you can do a 3-day Park Hopper, which can be used on non-consecutive days
Big deal.
for $249.
Yeah.
A regular Park Hopper is like minimum $229, I think. If not minimum $209. But that's like
higher,
on the worst day of the year. So really good deal. It's available now. You can like also add Lightning Lane to it, which is an extra $117, which is crazy. But this is available now through May 21st. You will have to make reservations ahead of time. If you miss your reservation, they give it back to you at midnight. So that's okay. However, after May 21st, you will not, the ticket expires and goes away.
Yeah.
And usually these are non-upgradable. I don't know about this one, but double check. So there's a Disneyland hotel discount. Things must be bad. And Good Neighbor Hotel vacation packages. And they'll be looking for your business because our next headline, Art is dead.
Oh, no.
Art, which is Anaheim Resort Transportation?
Yeah, Anaheim
Transit.
Resort Transit. Yeah.
To cease operation March 31st. So these are the old blue buses
Bye-bye, Blue Boys.
flying around Anaheim. They are free.
Yeah. Well, okay. Some of them are free, like the ones that you get from Toy Story Lot. The ones from your hotels are not free.
Oh, they're
so you actually you go to the hotel desk, you buy a ticket for the ART, or you just tap your phone because they're equipped with Apple Pay, and it's like, I don't know, $1 or $2.
I think it's
ride.
$3.
Oh, really?
Because there's the whole Arctic shuttle thing,
Yes,
which is part of the same system.
Yep.
Arctic is the big glowy arch next to Honda Center.
It's the Amtrak and Metrolink station.
Yeah. So the hack is you park there for $6 and ride for $3 or something
Yeah.
like that. That's all going away. So Anaheim Resort semi-public buses going away. Disney contracts from Art for the Toy Story buses. They will likely purchase the buses at a steep discount.
Yeah.
And or like a company will buy them and then Disney will lease it from them because people love doing that, and then contract out some drivers.
Yeah. So Art was built out of a sort of combined effort between Disney and the Anaheim Resort to establish a transportation network. It is a non-for-profit company. So a lot of people think the city owns it, but the city doesn't. So when it goes belly up, it's not going to add debt to the city, but it is a circumstance of like, now, okay, cool. Who's going to pay for it? Disney will definitely, I definitely see them buying for Toy Story Lot to keep that operational. But the rest of transportation in the resort, it's going to be up to those hotels whether they're going to start offering shuttles or whether they're not going to be able to offer anything and guests are just going to have to walk. That is entirely possible. And especially like looking at the market in Anaheim, it seems to be, kind of the right direction there of how things are going. A thing to consider is that they're going to start work on the Eastern Gateway, on a new parking structure and on that bridge and a new security and transportation depot that's on the other side of Harbor Boulevard. Now that Art doesn't exist, you don't need that giant transportation hub anymore, and you can start rerouting and you can start building Avatar. So there's a part of me that is like, it going belly up is almost like
it accelerates.
We would have to start decreasing this anyway. So now we might as well just go forward.
Yeah, I'm not privy to anything.
Yeah.
I could see them moving the Toy Story buses to the left side, let's say, like if you're facing the buses from the Esplanade, and then being able to start expanding DCA out. First.
Yeah, it would end up being a circumstance where currently, if you're looking from Harbor Boulevard towards Disneyland, on the left is where the drop-off is for Toy Story, in the middle is where all the Art buses are. You're going to get rid of all of that, and then the Toy Story buses would drop off on the right side, where traditionally the cast members get dropped off.
Oh, I forgot about the cast member bus.
Yeah.
But that's not a blue bus, right?
It's not. It's separate. That one is run by Disney. So those are Disney drivers.
So couple things. I forgot the exact numbers, but hotels paid into this.
Yeah.
So the hotels funded it because they all benefit, but they don't see any revenue from it.
No.
But I believe it was it losing $300K a month? Was that what it was?
Yes, it was insane. They were just dropping money like a rock. They just weren't getting enough input to actually make it sustainable as a business. And the ridership, that was the whole thing, is it's like they're getting paid into by the tax, But then the guests at those hotels they're paying the tax as well as them paying for every ride they go on the bus.
Yeah.
And they just weren't getting enough ridership to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, but I think now there's this weird thing of there was no point to staying at Disney hotels now because they got rid of the early thing. But now there's no not free bus, but cheap bus. Will the hotels buy shuttles? Maybe, maybe not.
Some of them already operate their own.
Yeah, what I think some of the hotels that don't operate their own are going to realize is now they have to either contract out a third party, which they were technically doing, but they had some sort of control over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're going to contract out a third party, which they have they don't know how good those drivers are. They don't know what the service level is like. Or they're going to have to buy transportation, upkeep it, and now have employees and probably accept liability for anything that happens on those buses because it's the hotel bus, as opposed to this is the Anaheim city bus, but it's not, but it is. Weird thing.
Well, and it's at least with Disney, they've had that whole thing of we have separation, so we don't have liability, all this other stuff. If they're owning the transportation between Toy Story and the main resort, now they're going to be in that situation of liability. But they're also familiar with doing that because you go to Disney World and it's all these Disney buses taking you around. So it's like, this isn't too much of a problem. The hotels, on the other hand,
because Disney's got a tram anyway, and there's no public traffic. But it's Disney's used to operating buses and even the cast member bus. It's like, all right, we just got to deal with this now. No big deal. But when you're a hotel, by the way, everyone, a lot of hotels like that Marriott is not owned by Marriott. It's owned by some dude, and that dude pays Marriott a license and gets to put the flag on top and buy their sheets and stuff, right? So now that guy is gonna have to deal with these bus things, and just it's stuff you don't want to deal with. Like, as a business, you think you want to bring everything in-house. Really, you kind of don't want to bring anything in-house and just pay someone to do it.
All right, we have a solution, guys. We're all going to have all the hotels contribute, and we're going to build a people mover. It's going to happen, guys.
Yeah.
We're bringing it back. It's the only solution.
Well, the thing is, like, a people mover would not help these hotels because for a people mover to work, it can't stop.
No.
It needs to go to one hub, which, whatever. So, yeah, this is like a weird situation where it's helping Disney a little bit because of they get to move the buses a little quicker. They don't have to deal with, maybe they'll even change the plans of how big the other hub is going to be.
Yeah.
If not, they'll have to have a shuttle hub.
So in the background of this, because there is something to be said for they need transportation between the Arctic and the main resort district. The whole group that owns OC Vibe, and we've discussed this before, has been exploring building a permanent transportation installation that takes you to the Disneyland Resort, looking in particular at like a Skyliner type system, using some gondolas heading overboard the streets. And they've already started exploring that in terms of, surveying and seeing if that's possible. I feel like this is going to accelerate that. Like the need for transportation, now that you don't have art around and there's not going to be a permanent solution to that, unless you're going to be paying for buses too, which, OC Vibe might do that, you're going to need to build something for the long run that's going to work.
Yeah, the only reason I could see them not... What the heck just happened?
Oh, we're okay.
No, we're fine. Not doing that is like... Everyone knows that at some point there will be a third theme park.
Yes.
At some point. We have no idea when that is. But like when you start doing permanent things that go to a permanent place, we don't know. Although I do think they are going to just start funneling everyone to this Eastern Gateway.
Yep.
And then you just walk to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe someday, if Disney really wants, they'll put a people mover.
Yeah.
But not like, hey guys, it's happening. Just like, they can just do that whenever. If you push everyone slightly away from the resort, but a place where they can handle security offsite, arriving crowds offsite, and then funnel them into the resort, it'll be a lot nicer experience on resort property, especially now that like there's the Portos and they want to expand downtown Disney with Disneyland Forward, that kind of whatever. So, we'll see what happens there. It is a bold strategy, Cotton. And we'll see how it pays off for them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Art, I hardly knew ye. Really.
R.I.P. man.
Yeah. Arch
They
IP.
had to stop right outside of where I lived. It was very convenient.
Yeah,
Now it's
the
gone.
first thing I told Kimmy, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna screw Freddy." She's like, Freddy takes the bus. I'm like, every now and then he could just be dropped off right side of his house when you're
For
just
free.
like, yeah, because I think we haven't all kind of hung out at the resort, but if you're able to take the bus, that's quicker than going to one of our cars and us taking you home, right?
Technically is, yeah.
If you hit the schedule.
The problem is they have been unreliant.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that's my biggest mark against Art is that I feel like half the time you walk up, a bus is going to drive by and like not pick anybody up, or I got to go on lunch, or you miss it and it's leaving just as you get there because they don't stay. It was very finicky at best. But half the time it was great. So, it's like any other transportation system. City buses are still a thing. And they're still, Okta, it's a wide network.
Does Okta drop off at the hub?
They have multiple stops outside of Disneyland on Harbor Boulevard.
Oh, there's that.
Yes.
The Uber area right outside the Uber area,
right outside on the other side. They have that. So there is still bus transportation, but it's much more, directly down the street. It's not going to take you from your hotel straight to the Esplanade. You're going to have to do a transfer or two. So definitely more complicated, more expensive if you're a guest, but we'll see what the solution is.
Oh, and my final thought, because I said two things earlier and I didn't tell you the second thing. I know they're on the edge of their seats. I do believe this is going to be a situation of the hotels thinking, well, people aren't going to stop staying here.
Yeah.
So why even care?
Yeah.
So
they'll just get used to walking.
Yeah, get used to walking. Maybe someone CFO will say, we could afford to tighten our belts a little bit.
Oh my God.
Speaking of CEOs, next headline, no more joshing around. We finally have a new CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Josh D'Amaro will become CEO effective March 18th, which is the date of Disney's next annual shareholder meeting. So he will be leading that meeting where he will also take the mantle of director of the board. I think I read that right.
Yes.
So
So
Iger is really stepping back.
Iger is fully stepping back.
Is he still going to be on the board?
So he is still on the board as he's going to be a senior advisor to the company,
Right.
assisting with both Dana Walden and Josh D'Amaro in terms of their new roles, helping them get situated. But he will be a member of the board through December 31st. Afterwards, he will still be a consultant, like many former executives have been in the past, but he will no longer be a part of the Walt Disney Company.
2 years from now, somehow Bob Iger returned. I really hope not. So Josh D'Amaro is the new CEO. No co-CEO situation, but
We did it, Josh.
Yeah.
You're the CEO now. You're in charge.
Dana Walden. Dana, you said?
Yeah, Dana Walden.
Oh, it's Dana. Okay. Is president and chief creative officer, which I hate the phrase chief creative officer.
Yeah, it is definitely coming out of Hollywood, the entertainment industry, which is what she's going to be a part of. What this really boils down to, and I think a lot of people are confused about this, or they haven't heard of Dana because she's not a Ford personality. And that's really this whole race for CEO has been multifaceted. After Bob Iger came back, it was this type of situation of like, I don't know if we can trust your judgment after the whole JPEG thing. So they actually hired on a new employee. I believe he came from, I forget his name. He's in the article. But he came from like a banking organization. It was like, hey, you're going to head up the search for Disney's next CEO. And they looked outside the company. They looked inside the company. And they found Josh D'Amaro and Dana Walden being the top two candidates. Now, D'Amaro is like, as we all know who are Parks fans, he's a very like forward, open guy. He's in the parks all the time. He's standing on stage in front of tens of thousands of Disney fans at D23 every other year, making announcements. He definitely has his controversies and his moments that have kind of stuck to him, but somehow he continues to move past them because he is a charming personality. He has good stage presence. That's kind of one of the factors that makes him a good candidate for CEO and why they picked him in the first place. Dana Walden, she was actually a part of 20th Century Fox back in the day. She was the head of their sort of TV division. And so when 20th Century Fox was purchased by Disney, she got rolled in and eventually became the head of the streaming and television side of the business. At the same time, there was still a different executive who was in charge of the films. So she is not in charge of the film division. She has not been leading that. She's been in charge of streaming. So like Disney Plus versus the parks is kind of the battle that was happening in the background.
She's the new streaming person because the old streaming person was Bob Chapek's guy, and he got fired by Bob Iger. So my worry here is the streaming sector is like the most flailing sector of Disney.
For sure.
And she's the chief creative officer, and like people are like, oh, is this going to be an Eisner-Wells situation? The thing with Wells, I've been hearing mixed things now. I thought he was the CFO. Some say he was the COO.
So
either way, he was in finance and operations.
Yep. But he also came out of the entertainment industry like Eisner. So it wasn't that he was a pure finance guy, but that was definitely his background to back up Eisner, who got to be the creative head.
Yeah. But here we don't have like this operational genius or whatever.
So, but I think it's balanced because both Tomorrow and Walden come in as executives who have had to balance the finances, keep things going, deal with mistakes. Something that Dana Walden has had as an anchor, like pulling her down during her career at Disney, is all the mistakes made during Chapek, where he was throwing a ton of money away on Disney Plus on content that was not very good, but the quantity was the only thing that mattered. And by the time you swap those things, it takes a really long time for things to move up. Plus, you've had the strikes, the writers and actors strikes. So essentially the last 2 years is like a draw of like, you can't really blame her for that. But at the same time, it's like, that also doesn't mean that you're going to get the job of CEO, which is, I think, that the thing that ultimately hurt her in getting that role.
Yeah. And well, so one thing I'll say negative about her that I do know, she's a real big reality TV fan. Not like, oh, it's bad that you like it. No. Like she's pushing for more of it, which that's fine from like if you're entertained by that. The problem with being a proponent of reality TV within an entertainment company is that it is a cheap form of entertainment where you don't really have to pay any employees or writers. You still do have writers because that's how you edit the shows together, but it's extremely cheaply made content that you can just kind of poop out onto whatever streaming service you have. And although that does well financially, it's not good from a creative standpoint. And also, what was the point you had just made? Because I was going to address it.
She was Disney Plus streaming.
Yeah. Because I said the reality thing. I had it. It was like our next point was going to be. Dang. Right. I got it. Okay. I got it. Okay. Another reason Josh Tomorrow was the correct choice for this company.
At this moment.
Yeah. At the time he took over parks, that was 2020.
Yeah.
And the parks were 30 to 33, 1/3% of the not only revenue, possibly even just profit, but more or less 33% of Disney's business relied on the parks. Now, 2/3 of Disney's business relies on parks. So the two things there are, one, he came from the most important part of the Walt Disney Company. And two, whether it doesn't matter who did it, under his leadership, that sector doubled in importance. Not like revenue, whatever. It went from being the 1/3 of the company to 2/3, and he's responsible for that. Now, the people under him, people above him, maybe, but point is, when basically you're the boss and the thing doubles in size, you get the credit.
Yeah, and that's the thing is whether it was Chapek in charge or Iger, he is still weathering that ship and keeping it moving forward, even though he reports to them and they get to make, higher up level decisions. So you can't blame, everything for any of these people, but Tomorrow being a part of that ship and being a long-term Disney employee. So it's that type of commitment of like, you've worked for the company for like 30 years and it's like, you've been doing all this work and you've seen all the different roles and worked your way up the ladder and been a part of these decisions and helped build this thing up to its valuation. This really is a turning point in the entertainment industry where you're moving away from the studio being the most important thing, from that being the gem of your creativity to it being your physical experiences, your parks, resorts, and even digital aspects. Because that's the other reason that the board all voted for him, is because DeMauro had a whole pitch of like, as much as we hate it, it's like artificial intelligence is important into our lives now. It's going to have to integrate somehow. So we have to start taking that seriously. Video games, something that Disney has shied away from because they haven't been very successful at it. Actually going and making partnerships with Epic Games and like finding ways to value what you already have. Even if you let somebody else manage that, you're still going to generate revenue from it. And it makes you as a company, it makes Disney as a company much more like tech-centered or like leaning in that direction. It's why you have all of these, we call it Imagineering episodes. Look at the technology, look at the things we're inventing. Because if you're looking at your valuation, even just from not even from like a reality standpoint, but from a sort of philosophical standpoint, it makes Disney feel like a tech company to Wall Street. And so they're not just investing in movie theaters and box office, something that is diminishing returns and is slowly decreasing over time. People aren't going to the movies anymore. Theme parks, technology, video games, that is much more interesting. That is a long-term strategy, something that is going to keep the company going for the next 30, 50, 100 years versus its current, if you just focus on entertainment, you're going to end up like Warner Brothers and selling yourself to another company.
Now, I do want to make a little clarification on something you said. You said AI is important to our lives. The thing is, it's not.
No.
Consumers do not care about AI. Regular people do not care about AI. However, shareholders and also board members, because of shareholders, if you tell them I'm going to focus on AI, they're like, oh my God, he's going to take us to the future.
Yeah.
But really, like, it doesn't matter. So that's like something that kind of sucks, where he just had to say AI and everybody in the room clapped.
And then they made him CEO. Yeah. But that's how it works. Like, that's the political side of it. So as much, and that's why I kind of like hesitated when I was saying AI, because it's like,
it's have you seen the Family Guy clip of Lois running?
No.
And then she said 9/11 and everyone claps because she's like, we never forget. We're going to fight back, whatever. And then she realizes everyone claps. So then she goes 9 and everyone leans in, 11, and then everyone cheers again. And that's like, like, oh yeah, yeah, it's the future.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So that's what it is. I'm sure anytime I make some sort of reference like this, Kimmy will post a clip in the Discord.
Sure.
But that's what happened here.
Yeah.
So on that note though.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been anticipating this, very excited for this. I'm saying like fans, right? Oh my God, finally. Iger's gone. Chapek's gone. It's the new era. Yep. Everything will be good now. Here's the thing. What I said 3 minutes ago. Josh DeMauro has been head of the parks since 2020. Chapek was gone after like a year and a half. So what that means is everything you hate about the parks right now was rubber stamped by Josh DeMauro.
Yep.
Maybe he went and asked Lord Vader about it, right? But he's Lord Vader, and he went and talked to Palpatine about it. So that's the thing here. He answered to Bob Iger, but Bob Iger was like, hey, Josh, how are you going to make more money? He goes, hey, charge for Fast Pass now.
Lightning Lane reservation services.
Yeah, this was brought up in the recent Defunctland video. All those decisions are made by the person who runs that division.
Yeah.
When there is a weird out-of-pocket change, that comes from like Iger. So let's say out of nowhere, like Iger showed up and then reservations went away. That's because Bob Iger is the big boss and he was like, hey, this has got to go. For whatever reason. Because the CEO does ultimately decide. But yeah, all of these things, the overcrowding, the understaffing, Josh DeMauro was probably tasked with cutting costs or increasing profit. And he decided to do all of these things to achieve that goal. So that's how a lot of this stuff works. It's Bob Iger. I mean, he does, but They don't care how much the parks are spending. They care what the margins are on the parks. So if they're like, why are you spending so much? That's how we increase the margin. Oh, okay.
Well, and that's something to be said of like under Chapek, it was like, we're going to spend $60 billion on streaming. And the moment Iger showed up, that $60 billion is now being spent on new cruise ships and new attractions coming to a theme park near you. That is the type of immediate change that you experience when you had like Iger come back. Now that's something that like DeMauro is like beholden to whoever's above him in terms of who do I have to please? And even though Iger is now going to be stepping off the side, as you've been mentioning, DeMauro still has to please the board.
Yeah.
DeMauro isn't getting a paycheck of just here's $40 million. Thank you for your services. He's getting $1 or $2 million, and the rest is all in stock. His personal incentive is to increase the stock value.
Yeah. And there is a legal term that's called fiduciary duty, which means the CEO or board of a company or whatever it is, right, has a legal obligation to increase value for shareholders.
Yep.
Now, before all the accountants cringe at me bringing this up and saying it doesn't mean this or that, that doesn't mean you have to spend as little as possible and make as much as possible. It means your decisions have to convince your shareholders that this will make them the most money. So you can, as part of your fiduciary duty, say, we are going to stop charging for a lightning lane. And they go, well, you're going to lose $37 per guest. And they go, yeah, but when we do that, people don't bring food into the park and they spend $40 on food, right? And it doesn't work that way because I know the food has a cost, but the point is you can make things better for a guest and say that will lead us to more money, and you prove it. They're not really asking about that type of stuff like super nitty-gritty, but the point is the line has to go up. Now, Disney can, as I keep saying, decide to pay dividends or higher dividends, in which case your stock price doesn't have to go up as much. It is kind of the name of the game now. It's a little like the cat's out of the bag, genie's out of the bottle. But there was this whole thing with Coca-Cola for a while. Their stock price like didn't change for like decades at a time. But they'd pay really high dividends per share. So what that means is like you own one share and you get $7 this quarter. But, you own 10,000 shares. Oh, we just gave you $70,000. And so that means like they take a cut of the profit and give it to the shareholders. So that way you just have to make the profit. It has to make sense for you. Price doesn't have to go up because your investment increases. But the reason a stock price has to go up is because if there are no dividends, if you put money in something and you don't make money off of it, why would you put it there? And now you may say, well, that sucks. That's the stock market. That's the problem. You're not going to fix it unless you're a private company. And then you got stock buybacks, and I'm not getting into any of that. But point is, this can lead to good change because Iger was a personality and did have weird taste in things.
Mm-hmm.
Reportedly, the reason we didn't get the Hercules musical is because somebody showed it to Iger, because that's what happens. Mm-hmm. And he said, why would anyone care about this? Can it?
Yep.
And that's it. That's what happens. You can't say,
and now the Hyperion's empty for 5 years.
Because you could have told Bob Iger, like, no, look, man, like here's the 90s chart.
Yeah.
And we did a 90s night and everyone came.
Everyone loves
and everyone met Hercules and he's the most requested character. And we released a pin for Hercules. Like, guys, all this stuff is in the analytics. Like, we released a Hercules anniversary pin and there was a line that morning for the LE 100 or whatever it is, right? And that shows like, oh, okay, people care. They will come to the parks for a pin. They will come to the parks to watch him sing, right?
Yep.
So
I'm just surprised when stuff like that happens that you don't do a temporary musical, even like Rogers, which, I mean, the Hercules thing led to Rogers the musical.
I think that Hercules would require more sets and costume work, where Rogers was
projection.
that, and it's like modern day, and the costumes were t-shirts, right? Because
it was pretty cheap,
because the costumes in the show were t-shirts. That was the whole joke.
Convenient.
So,
no, and that's a huge difference. Is like, I feel DeMauro coming out of the parks, coming out of the experiences side, the taste is already aligned with there's a certain expectation that our guests have, and we need to deliver on that. And so when you have somebody who's in that role and they're speaking to guests, you never found Bob Iger walking around talking to guests. But tomorrow will stand there at the parks or at a convention and hear a person out. I don't know if he's going to be doing it that much after this because he's going to be super busy, but it is still one of those things of like, for the last, decade, that's what he's been doing.
He might not be super busy. A new meme just dropped.
Oh my God.
the higher you are in a company, the fewer and smaller screens you have. Bottom of the barrel, you got 2 monitors on your desk. No offense. I have 2 monitors on my desk, but it is what it is, right? And then, you're a senior analyst. You just got the one big monitor, right? You're one of the big assistants, one of the directors, iPad. The CEO,
no screens.
No, he's just got the iPhone.
Oh, nice.
That's it. Like you just have
cool.
a phone because Josh tomorrow's not sitting in his desk running numbers.
No.
So the one thing that you just brought up right now that we can look forward to is Josh tomorrow came from the parks and cares about the theme parks.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean he's going to be like, hey, everyone, Magic's back. It's that he's going to focus on what will grow the parks. Instead of entertainment expensive, it's, if we have a bunch of shows all day and this theater fits 2,000 people, we can fit 2,000 more people in the park.
Yep.
I know it doesn't work that way, but...
Or you're going to get those people out of the walkway and the constant complaints of overcrowding will decrease because we've increased our capacity. That's already something they're trying to work on.
Yeah. So he has parks knowledge. He cares about it. And I also wonder if this Dana Walden thing, I know she's streaming, but she's going to head up studios too.
So, and that's something
he could kind of just be like, just do your thing. You
just tell me how it's going.
Yeah.
It's going good. The new Avengers Doomsday made some money. Okay. We're okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of Disney telling you that their studio business is not as important.
Mm-hmm.
Our parks guy is running our company, and the Walt Disney Company is going to be a experiences focused company. And there will be creative things like movies and TV to support that and add nostalgia for younger kids now, for the future, and give the parks and cruises and hotels more content.
And expect everything that Disney does on that entertainment side to be driving you to the parks. That's going to be a huge thing of just like, okay, make something in your movie that we can turn into an experience. Like that moment. Okay, cool. We can actually make something out of that. That's an interactive experience or a piece of merchandise. Cool. Oh, you thought about that? Great. Value. But previously it's just like, okay, what's going to make the most success? What's going to be the minimal amount of effort that we have to do to get a button a seat to watch something? Yeah, that's kind of like what it's been. So I hope that there's at least some driver on that side. Dana Walden, like one of the reasons that she keeps getting promoted and she's in her role is she has a lot of good relationships in Hollywood, both from her 20th Century Fox days. Reportedly, she was somebody who actually flew to Iger before he came back to help convince him to go to being CEO. So she has been a personal friend of Iger, and that's why she has been continuously in this race, even though she doesn't really have a high outward profile. She's somebody that has those good relationships that Iger already does in Hollywood. So it kind of keeps everybody calm. Everybody's happy. You're not going to have a Scarlett Johansson situation where your executive who's from the marketing wing or whatever it is, or corporate ring, goes out there and messes stuff up. So you really want, tomorrow to be able to kind of keep moving the ship in the right direction. You already have the foundation laid. Everything's right. Make those decisions to kind of keep things going in the right direction in terms of pleasing your audience and keeping people, retaining it. I think that's the biggest thing. Is it's like you can't, if you have somebody like Chapek who already had that reputation of being cheap and cutting budgets and making things that don't look good or last, and then he becomes your CEO, you're going to falter. But tomorrow doesn't have that record. He does have things like price gouging and nickel and diming that is definitely going to be something to consider. But I see that a lot more of the symptom of the leadership at the time and the direction that was being, provided, versus he is somebody who has heard guests enough complain about the reservation system that that's the number one complaint. And the reservation system doesn't necessarily equate to value all the time. It does mean that, cool, we can staff less cast members, but now we're also dealing with staffing less people, and it's a busy day, and the lines are longer, and the rides are breaking down more, and now you end up in this whole situation of like us trying to save money has led to us having to spend more. So like there's actually some hope for certain things. I actually think that the idea of reservation system going away is a possibility. Like in 6 months, where like under somebody else, it wouldn't be. They wouldn't be considerate enough to realize maybe we can change this. We'll find an alternative to talk to the board about why we're doing it, but it will increase guest satisfaction.
Yeah. The one hope I want to close on a note like this.
Yeah.
Or a note in this area. The one hope or possibility, it's not even a hope, right? Is Josh tomorrow says we need to focus on the parks and that guest experience and sentiment is important to the long-term viability of the parks.
Yes.
Because if every time you bring up Disneyland, especially with people who don't go often, which is important because they're the big spenders. If you say Disneyland, someone goes, isn't it crowded and expensive? That's not where you want to be as a company, because in the future that will eventually catch up with you. And if you've pivoted your whole company to care about experiences and your experiences are bad, that's going to be a problem, because there are so many more experiences out there right now. Everyone and their mother and their co-host and themselves are going to Japan, and that's just a country.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's just telling you like people are actually doing other things. So you gotta make sure your experiences are top notch and world class. You can't just say they are, but you can declare it. But yeah, so that's I hope
a good point to end on.
He knows that it's important.
Yeah.
What that means for the parks is anyone's guess. I will say one thing about the reservation system, and I mean this sincerely about AI, is you can just kill the reservation system and use your little AI that you just paid OpenAI $1 billion for before they go under.
Yeah.
Feed it all your guest data, and it'll just tell you how many people to schedule.
That's true.
Just do that. And
it's actually, that's one of the few things it's good at.
Yeah, it's actually good at that kind of stuff, just analytical stuff.
Yeah.
So make it do that. Oh, I do want to know. This wasn't in mousekeeping. I'll put it in the news. Any final thoughts about tomorrow before I do this?
I'm
AI
excited
thing?
and hopeful. I think he's got little things that irk people. I remember all the way back in the day when they had to let go a lot of cast members because of the pandemic, and that was very like people knew that he was opposed to it. And so he had verbally said, I don't support us removing, like, why can't we leave these people on furlough and bring them back? But it was a cost saving measure if we don't want to pay people's insurance. And so it was one of those things of like when he went to Downtown Disney after a bunch of people got let go and he was going and there were cast members crying and, he was there comforting them like that. And there was people online, crocodile tears, he doesn't care. It's like, that guy genuinely cares. Like, and he has for a long time. Every time I've interacted with him, which is probably like 5 or 6 times, it's been a genuine interaction. I opened up a chain for him once when he was walking the new CFO to go watch fireworks. They were running across the hub. I spotted them, over by Tomorrowland. I opened up the chain for him. He walks through. He goes past me. He waits there for me to put the chain back to shake my hand. That's who he is.
And I just want people to know that even if you just fired people and your job is safe and you just go there to let them cry and they're fired anyway, that is important because you are accepting emotional responsibility at the very least. It is an important thing that most do not do.
Yeah.
It's an important thing when you tell people to do something they don't want to do, like sweep, that you go sweep with them. Even if you're still in your nice clothes and your nice watch is hanging off your wrist, you're there with them. And it matters because that means you're not hiding. And it's there's no getting around how much more you make than them. There's no getting around how you will never suffer in terms of financials at least, right? Never know what it feels like to be them, but it does matter to at least be shoulder to shoulder with the people you employ.
And that's absolutely. And he's the one person that, like, when bad things would happen or something that would impact the cast members negatively, he was still there. Even if people were yelling at him, and cast members did yell at him or like had stern words with him, versus, you had other resort presidents afterwards who, the moment that there was a bad interaction with the cast members, you never heard from them again. They never left their office. One in particular, not the current guy, the last guy, he was like that. So like, in terms of who's to be promoted, who's a mature leader and actually will cause an impact, I think we've said a lot about Tomorrow and Walden. And I really wish them the best of luck. It'll be very interesting to listen to that shareholder meeting and to go to D23 this year and hear what they announce and how they talk about things, because that's going to be very exciting.
Watch it all unfold on Trammin, a Disneyland podcast. So on that note, we'll do In Your Right because we have fun music. So it's time for Your Right, in which members of the Tram fam write in with corrections and comments, just like you can at trammin.com/ask. Freddie, cue up that corrections music, please. Guys, he knows which button it is now. That means we got to kick him off. He's been here too long.
Oh no.
So I did bring up AI. So I want to know, friend of the show, friend of real life, the Disneylanders, has been working on this project for a very long time.
Oh, good Lord.
He told me about it, and we had interesting discussions because you guys know how I feel about AI. But that is a personal feeling, and you are an adult, and you can make up your own decisions. But for a long time, he was training and working on a AI Walt Disney.
Yeah.
So regardless of what you think about AI, I don't think it's anything bad that he did to Walt Disney, because the Walt Disney Company has done it themselves. So that doesn't matter. So
that's very true.
The way he has released this is through a podcast style interview with this AI Walt Disney.
Yeah.
And it is very interesting to see what an AI thinks Walt Disney would say about something based off of things he's already said.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, the voice is okay. I mean, look, Addy doesn't have a supercomputer. What are we going to say? I will say that the answers it gives seem very consistent with the types of things Uncle Walt would say. So it is an interesting project. Go to, what was it called? Was it the waltproject.com?
Yeah, I forget what it listed it as.
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram, and then let's see. I'm opening it right now. Yes, thewaltproject.com. So here's the thing I will say about individually trained AI, because this is individually trained.
Yeah.
I don't know the full details. He didn't tell me because I didn't ask, probably, but I wouldn't share them with you anyway. But the way individually trained stuff works, it gives you outputs based off of inputs. So in a way, like non-generative AI, I know it's kind of generative, is basically it's reading a bunch of things for you and giving you information based off what you ask. So that's kind of what he did here. You could form your own opinions on it. You could love it. You could hate it. But he worked real hard on it, and it does look very interesting. And we were going to do like a thing that he's doing now on Trammin, but I'm really glad he did it the way he did.
Yeah.
Because he understands how it's going to react, how to ask things.
And he made it super accessible and clippable.
Yeah.
He made it for the right, for the Instagram shorts, for the TikTok, here's your little thing that's going to definitely get views, because
I wouldn't know what to ask it, how to ask it, and then I'd sit there awkwardly as it thought. Yeah. I think he did a good job. So go check out thewaltproject.com if that interests you. I mean, you have to. It's based off of all of Walt's previous public, established words. It's AI Uncle Walt. So it's not Walt Disney. It's Uncle Walt. It's the media side, presentation. So it's super interesting. Hear that, because it's also people have misquoted Walt all the time, with very similar verbiage, and so I'm it works. Sounds right to me. Hey, and that's the thing is, guys, you can't reanimate a dead person. No. They don't have his brain, right? However, the reason it is interesting is if you ask Walt Disney these complicated questions, he would give you like these little sideways cutesy pixie dust answers. And that's
Absolutely,
what it does.
yeah.
So it's a really interesting project. And you know what? Genie's not going back in the bottle. So go check it out, thewildproject.com. And if that's not for you, go check out the Disneylanders on Spotify, Apple Music. That's not AI. That's just a very talented musician making some really cool music. And he, like we bring up, in case you forget, the Trammin song at the end of this episode. And the random other songs that I put in recent episodes, those are other songs that he did.
Yeah.
He did write Trammin after coming on the show.
He's very talented.
Yeah. So go check that out, if you will. We have a couple random You're Rights from the episode discussion page on Discord. So Spokebusters, that's Jackson, says, Rain is right. I did go to the Weird Arts High School, the Ramon C. Cortines School of Visual and Performing Arts. What did he say? It's sort of like Glee with students dancing and singing in the hallways.
Oh my gosh.
What a nightmare. Tiffy Luna wrote something else, I swear. That didn't have to do with Rock Bottom. But shout out. There's something else, right, Freddie?
Well, what I was going to bring up is what I had posted earlier on, which was a Eureka Trammin pop quiz into the episode discussion, which if you didn't write back in there, you can also pull it up. But it was, what is your favorite place in DCA? What makes DCA special to you? What is something you miss about the original park and the golden age of DCA? And which upcoming project are you most excited about? So we had a bunch of write-ins from Will, Robert, and let's see, somebody else did it, and Ozzy, who all posted some of their favorite things, a few of our favorite things, in the chat there. So it was really fun going through those, chatting it up. We'll definitely do that after this episode as well, because love having those discussions with you guys, seeing your input in terms of like, hey, like, let's keep the spirit, kind of some love for the parks going, especially with the last week of like things that that existed during a particular time, a moment in time, and getting to appreciate that. And now going forward, just all the things that we are excited about and we should be excited about.
Yeah. Go check out Discord. But we got a couple emails where tram.com/asks from someone rang the doorbell.
Oh boy.
I wonder what that is. Let's check. It's probably like a package. UPS. UPS always rings the doorbell.
Oh, thank you, UPS.
I'll just throw things. All right. So we got write-ins from Pam and Cam. Pamela L writes in, this is random, but all of these DCA episodes, which I love, by the way, keep making me think about A Bug's Life. I love that movie and loved it as a kid. You guys have any thoughts on why it didn't gain the momentum that other Pixar franchises have? I never really hear about it, and there are no sequels. I'm sure it's ultimately about money, but I'm curious about why you think people didn't respond more to it.
Well, I think that so it came out at a certain time. You also had DreamWorks Ants. So like they almost canceled each other out.
I think a Bug's Life did very well, though.
It did.
Merch potential low on Bug's Life.
Yeah.
But Pixar at the time was not the sequel studio.
No.
I know there was Toy Story 2, but like Pixar was making movies and moving on.
Yep.
I think and Toy Story was the only sequel until Cars 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing too is that Pixar at the time, they're doing all these individual projects. And Bug's Life was like its second big thing. And so you have a lot of other films that actually have much more of a mark, were much more mature in terms of their animation style and their storytelling. And so I think as time went on, it just became more forgettable to a certain extent of like, once you've mounted up all of these amazing projects, I don't think that Bug's Life holds up as well compared to Up, WALL-E, The Incredibles, stuff like that. So, or Ratatouille, like things that are a little bit more substantial in people's minds, or were such a very like out there idea that it struck a chord with people, and it made the studio so identifiable. Versus Bug's Life, that is a little bit more traditional, I think, is in terms of an animation story.
Yeah, it is my favorite Pixar film. But I think the other thing is not so much anymore, but at the time, every Pixar project was like developing new tech.
Yeah.
The first, Toy Story was just like making a full-length CGI film, right? I don't know what the individual ones are, but like Bug's Life could have been like Earth You know?
It had to do with crowds, with the ants, the number of animated figures that you had, and creating algorithms that would allow for you to have large crowd work in an animated CGI project.
Yeah, and then Monsters Inc. was about the fur. Like Brave was about hair. Way later, like realistic hair.
But it's kind of wild to like watch movies before and after Brave and how it actually impacts. Like it's one of those fun things you can do with Pixar. I feel like that's less relevant now than it was, because I feel like they've gotten so firm in their style that they don't really iterate like they used to.
Yeah, like Finding Nemo was like water physics or physics inside of water, you know, and probably more crowds. Like everything was to push the technology forward.
Yeah.
And now they just kind of have to iterate on it. They really don't, like, it's just always going to be water now.
Yeah.
There's nothing harder than that.
Well, and I think now it's more interesting to see them change their animation style, like Luca, or like do things individually. Like it's fascinating to see something like Turning Red, and you're like, this is a very different style, and it's an individual artist who has been brought up to a director level. It's interesting in Pixar of like, there's these people, and they get, hey, you're going to get one movie, and you have 6 years to develop it. And so like that development time, that concept, Hoppers is going to be coming out. I'm actually excited to see that, because it looks like another very unique Pixar movie that has a very unique concept, and it just smart, witty dialogue. It'll be funny to see. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So, Bug's Life, look, it's better that there was no sequel.
Yeah.
It should just be left.
And it had a time. Bug's Land had its time.
Yeah.
Bug's Life had its time. And now it's buried 6 feet under. I'm so sorry.
This here's our Eureka topic of the week. DCA, now and forever. So, DCA now and forever.
Oh, yeah. The golden age is over.
The golden age is over.
Yeah.
And we get what we have now, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit before now, but now. Like, this is 2017 and on.
Yes.
So the beginning of the end, the first death knell, the first trumpet.
Yeah.
That you heard.
The first domino to fall, and it's a big one.
Yeah.
All right. Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Breakout.
Yeah. I want to say that is a hyphen and a colon, which we do sometimes on Trammin. But it's not a permanent name for anything. So Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout was the first, like, hey, you know how we just like completed this park? All that's about to change. Right before it did, though, we got, I think, one of the greatest treats we ever got at DCA. The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror final checkout.
Oh, yeah.
So this was already Chapek era, right?
This was? Yeah, this is Chapek era for sure.
It was, I don't know if it was Chapek CEO era, but Chapek was head of the parks.
This is Chapek head of the parks era, yeah.
So for those who don't know, Bob Chapek had Josh D'Amaro's old job. He was head of the parks, which is crazy, right? So his little mantra, he did not like Imagineering.
No.
He thought they were slow and expensive, and we'll come back to that. But he didn't really want to deal with them. He didn't want to deal with closures, which is a good thing to not want to deal with, but sometimes you got to do it. But this project was really big because I believe it only closed for like 4 to 7 weeks. It was under 2 months.
Yeah.
It
was a very quick turnaround.
Yeah. So the way they built Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout was did they start painting it first?
They started putting up scaffolding, and started to remove objects from the structure. Started removing detailings in the like 6 months prior to its actual closure.
Yeah. By
the time we got Tower of Terror final checkout, it was already just a brown box.
Yeah. They were stripping things out slowly because you don't really have to get rid of guests to like come in overnight and take off a sign.
Yeah.
And to put primer on and to put like some stupid thing that you're going to like some fake pipes that you're going to paint later. because all that stuff started going on too.
Yes.
So they started doing the exterior stuff. Now, internally, the queue wasn't changed yet, but during final checkout, they needed to change the ride system slightly. And so the big thing with Mission Breakout is it is completely randomized in songs and the way the
ride profile.
Yeah, the ride profile. There you go. The way it goes up and down, if it decides to go up twice or go up and not hit the brakes and free fall, or go up and pause, or just drop 3 times.
So they are attached to the song. So it's not like fully randomization chaos. This isn't Star Tours. But it is a circumstance of like, that is 6 different ride profiles.
Is it not
6 different
more?
ways of straining on the building. It is technically 6.
It's not like multiple per song?
No, it's
No?
the same person. So each song has its own profile.
But the point is, it can be changed on the fly.
Yeah.
And I believe they built it in a way where they could just give it another profile and it'll just do it. Maybe they test
They
how
can make
it feels,
adjustments. They can
yeah.
do all sorts of stuff.
So the way to test that without shutting down the ride and making cast members go on it all the time was when the sun would go down, the Tower of Terror spiel, for the most part, would go away. You had one thing. You had the pre-show.
Yeah.
And then I think they would say he would do the first part of it.
Yeah.
And then the lights would go out. So the lights would go out, sun was down, your thing would go back, and it was just blank. There was no Twilight Zone effect, whatever. And it would sit there for a moment.
Yeah.
It would sit there in silence. And whether it was,
Sometimes it was long. It was like 10 seconds.
I don't know if it was pumped in or not, but there was the sound of the wind in the elevator shaft.
Yeah.
And you would just sit there in the dark, and then the ride would fall. Or it would shoot up and you had no idea what it was doing. Yeah. No music the whole time. Yeah. Just you screaming. And there was always like a maintenance cast member out there, because I think they were just changing the ride profile on the fly to just more or less.
They were playing around. It was purely a test.
Yeah. So they were testing the randomization. 1, the different programs. 2, how it, like, for sure they were seeing, how does this ride handle changing it from one group of guests to the next group of guests? Yeah. Which technically you don't have to do, because you can run through the whole 6. You can run through a song 5 times before the guest comes on in. But either way, they were testing out the system. And while they were at it, they were just giving you a little scare. Mm-hmm. And that way they didn't have to close the ride. They could shut off the sounds. They could probably listen to the ride to see if it creaks in any weird ways, because of the way it's shooting up and down. Like, there's a million ways to test something. So you got this cool little thing, and it was like a cool event, because you're like, it's the final checkout. Yeah. They sold T-shirts. They had pins. It was wonderful.
They had the musical sisters from Fiddler Pfeiffer and Practical Cafe actually in the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah, it was a cool time. Cool. And during the day, it was the Tower of Terror with like scaffolding around it.
Yeah, it was sad. It was a very sad state of affairs.
I think basically when they closed it, it was because they had to do the queue.
It was time to do the queue. It was time to repaint the attraction itself. It was time to install all the beautiful props.
How did they get... you know what? They probably got Rocket working beforehand and didn't show you.
No, well, that was all. So like the libraries were still the same.
Yeah.
They hadn't removed any of that. They hadn't installed all that mechanism. I'm sure they had those animatronics sitting in a warehouse somewhere all ready to be installed. Yeah. But that wasn't installed yet. Now, something I did want to bring up, because, before we really get into Mission Breakout, the reaction over the course of the moment that they announced, surprise, surprise, guys, Tower of Terror is going away and we're bringing the Guardians of the Galaxy. You will love that movie. You love it so much. We're making a sequel, and it's going to come out the same time as the sequel. As exciting as that was, the park reaction is, what are you doing?
I don't think I knew a single person who was excited.
No.
Because it was a beloved attraction. It was, like we said in a previous episode, it was the start of DCA becoming an okay park. This was long before the Golden Age is when it opened. It was like early 2000s, right? I already forgot. Yeah. But it was like, okay, we were going to put in a big E-ticket.
Yeah. It's repairing to the park's image. And Tower of Terror had become such an icon of the park, of just seeing the Hollywood Tower sign.
Yeah.
It became part of it. This is an identifiable California thing in our California park, helping solidify the identity. And it fit into that golden age idea, that idealized time, even though it had that twist to it. And I think ultimately you had a dual thing of Guardians of the Galaxy was a very popular film. People love those characters. And Twilight Zone was not a relevant IP. And it's one of those situations where when Chapek's there and they're looking at relevance and they're looking at what can we do cheap and how do we introduce new thrills.
And the license was expiring at that time.
Yes. And those are expensive licenses, but as you can see in Florida, they just keep renewing it.
Yeah, that was the thing. So they kept saying like, oh, CBS has the license. Like, we didn't give up the license.
That's not the real reason
you just didn't renew it here. Yeah. I bet you CBS like, why not?
Yeah, why not giving us $1 million?
You want it for cheaper?
Come on. Yeah, please.
Yeah,
you're helping sell DVDs.
Yeah, so it was. Yeah, I want to say while Final Checkout was an exciting like gimme, we were not excited for this to close.
No,
Final Checkout could have been a cool thing to do on Halloween. Although. I think that the movie set on Halloween, right? Or no, New Year's Eve.
Yeah, something like that.
It was some sort of party. Anyways.
Yeah, it's New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it was a beautiful icon of the park and the land that it is still in. I don't care where you say it is pointed towards Hollywood land.
Yep.
Because that's what it was for. And that was the big change. And yeah, Freddie, you said this is a record scratch.
Yeah, record scratch in the park's consistency, and thematic consistency for that matter. I mean, even to the extent of like the cracks in the ground and the whole idea of like, and at the time I was like, all right, cool. Like, it'll be interesting. There's other ideas. I had always been like Doctor Strange. Like, what an easy gimme of like a haunted hotel. And it turns out to be the Sanctum. Like, that's an easy gimme. But like, instead you're like the Guardians. Like,
do you remember what the story was behind it?
But behind the Guardians, the
Collector's Warehouse?
Yeah.
No, like why it's there?
I don't remember that. All I remember is it like teleported in, like it dropped in.
So the Collector was traveling with his collection to show it off. And his newest thing is the Guardians of the Galaxy. So he's showing us the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's now on display.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh, this is explained by Disney. Oh, it landed in Hollywood or Hollywoodland. It needs to take the style of an Art Deco hotel. They literally said that. And A Bug's Land was the garden and grounds of this hotel. And yeah, sure, it fits. But and I think that was kind of the story of Bug's Land earlier too. But yeah, it was just like, how do we explain that this thing is in near the Los Angeles Sanctum of Anaheim? And which that's the whole thing too.
Oh, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
But like the whole thing of it, but there was still a vibe, and ultimately, this thing gets announced. They start building it, they open it, or they start revealing. We start seeing the thing get painted this golden color, these golden browns and stuff. I always joked, I'm like, it's a leftover paint of Tomorrowland '98. They just found those buckets. And they're just like, let's just throw it up on there.
The colors are like dark red and blue.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of why we took such offense to it. And then they put that weird dome on top that is like, doesn't even have real lightning like Universal does. And then, okay, I don't think anyone's ever been sure. Is the dark part like stage black?
It's
like, you don't see this?
Yeah, they just painted it black so it just, you don't acknowledge it.
Like stage black as in like, if someone's wearing black on stage and they're holding a character or something, it's like, you're not supposed to see them.
Yeah, and if you look at the original concept art, that isn't there. So it's just you ran out of paint or the detailing didn't work. This was done insanely on the cheap, by the way.
Yeah.
Every part of this was meant to be cheap. Yeah, you can look.
Oh yeah, it's filled in over there.
Yeah, and also you look at the concept art and there's a ton of details on there. To be fair, when they were going through here, and one of the executives behind the project, he was like, hey, if you take off everything that is the Tower of Terror and makes it look like a hotel, it's just a big rectangle. You can make this look like anything. And that was where the origin idea was like, it's the collector's fortress. And it's like, okay, all right. I can kind of see what you're saying. But it comes down to a proper execution. So there's certain things that they omitted because those details weren't necessary. We can get away with it. We'll just light it. We'll make it look interesting. We'll have the red lights. Something's escaping. Something's happening.
The thing is, they could have made it look like Asgardian and still called it the Collector's Warehouse because we have no concept of what the Collector's Warehouse looks like. Yeah,
in the movie, there's no real outside of what the Collector's Warehouse is. You just see the inside with all the containers, which, I mean, if you've been to the attraction, they definitely deliver on that, and that's cool. I will say, so like in the lead up before it's opening, it looks ugly. This giant sword golden thumb sticking out here in this park. What is it doing here? How does this belong? You're walking through Grizzly Peak Airfield and you're looking down and you see Carthay Circle and it used to be the beautiful, there's Tower of Terror. What is that? It ruined all the sight lines. You're over by Paradise Pier and you're looking and you're like, man, what's that ugly thing doing here? Yeah. And then it opened. And at least for me personally, complete like 180. Oh my God, that's fun. Like, everything that we've just established creatively, we're just like, what is this? How's this working? Okay, I don't know. Then I get on it and you're like, compared to Tower of Terror was a like fun mood setting thing. Guardians of the Galaxy is something different. It was a true honest to God thrill ride, repeatable with 6 different song variations and drop variations. So you had to do it multiple times. It's exciting. It's got a vibe. It's fun. The whole description that we get from, and we haven't brought him up yet, Joe Rohde was the lead on this project. A Joe Rohde joint, as I describe here. He is going all out with all of his anything he can do to make this an exciting journey. He described it as like the idea of when you're a little kid and your parent picks you up and throws you up in the air, or your uncle picks you up and throws you up in the air and catches you. He wants that sensation of it being a giggle machine, that you're laughing the whole time, was his description for how this ride would be. And I think he delivers on it. I think that's what Guardians, Mission Breakout is. It's laughter. It's fun. It is technically more thrilling and more intense, but I do think it is more fun than scary. We're not just hyping you up for one big drop. We're throwing you out of your seat over and over again.
So it still makes me mad. Now, here's the thing. The ride, like from buckling in, is more fun.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's not because it's the Guardians of the Galaxy.
No.
You could have put anything on those screens. It wouldn't have mattered. It's that it's a fun, random thing. So that's what bothers me about this. It's not only the beginning of the end for like the golden DCA. This was the beginning of the end for like ride stories.
Yeah.
Because this is the beginning of the contrived story.
That's true.
Like the Tiana thing.
Yeah.
They could have just done the movie. We know why they didn't. Voodoo, yada, 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 right? Mm-hmm. But it's like, hey, we're making up some crap to fit in this thing that we already had.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Incredicoaster later.
Oh, God.
It's the problem is this ride and Incredicoaster are so self-aware that the characters on the ride tell you.
Yep.
So,
hey, is that Disneyland? That's thematically inconsistent.
Yeah, and I think I heard that for the first time finally.
Wow.
During, I think Mission Breakout. Or sorry, what's it called? Monsters After Dark.
Now he doesn't actually say that during Monsters After Dark. He has a linked line for that.
Did I?
You could have been riding it during the day when that happened.
No. I'm trying to think. Why did I go on it? Oh, I got a lightning lane. It was like booked up for lightning lane and done for the day. And then a 6:30 one popped up. And I was like, okay.
Sure.
So that's why I saw it. Yeah. Because I'm like, how did I go on that recently? Yeah. So I did get that for the first time. Yeah. So it is more fun, but it could have been more fun as the other one.
Yeah.
But
I do think that they take advantage, regardless of the story. And I think that there's a problem there, not to mention the acting, which is incredibly bad, but also fits into an echelon of bad theme park acting that is iconic to this day. That's kind of fun. I think of Fast and Furious Supercharged when that was closing and everyone is like quoting those just horrendous lines.
Or even Avatar.
Oh yeah.
The flying one.
Fly. Like it's like, but at least there it feels more intentionally bad versus like these where it's the actors are like not getting paid as high to like do this thing and they don't really want to be there for it. And so clearly they're not giving it any effort. You're just like, okay, whatever. But putting that aside, and the only person having fun with this is Benicio del Toro as the collector. He is actually a pleasure to watch and hear in this thing. He's reading lines. You can tell his eyes are off camera, like he's reading it, but he's having fun. He's hamming it up. It's a good time.
You know what, though? I think Bradley Cooper did a great job too.
That's true. And this is the one he is in Mission Breakout. Bradley Cooper did not come back to do Cosmic Rewind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he likes Rocket.
Yeah. He just didn't, they weren't going to pay him enough. Another Chapek thing. Chapek.
Yeah, but the Rocket, the Rocket performance had to be good because he is narrating you through the ride.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, I mean, and he really is like, he's your guide on this thing. It works that way.
But it's like, oh, we got to break the Guardians out. So hold up your hands to scan them.
His hands don't scan, but yours do.
You're just going up to open the doors on the elevator that I guess Rocket is riding on top of.
Yeah.
And then he jumps in and somehow he saves the Guardians. But like, they're kind of already free by the time
well, no, they become free because of you and Rocket, but your involvement in the story ends there.
Yeah. So you save the Guardians.
Yeah. But
it's just, the point is like the whole thing was so unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I know you said we'll talk about it later, but I think we should talk about why this was here now with Avengers Campus.
And there is something to be said that this is they did a whole like Marvel, like a superhero event at Disney. Right
Summer of Heroes.
Summer of Heroes.
I have a thermos, coffee cup.
But they couldn't use the Marvel branding. They're not allowed to because of a contract that exists with Universal. And to this day, that's why everything is Avengers themed and not like Marvel isn't labeled on there. That's part of it. But it's that is where they were going to go. And we will talk about that a little bit later. But it means that like, until that happens, this thing is just here on its own by itself. And so it's not playing into the overall story. It doesn't match the area that it's in. And that's why like a record scratch is a great way to describe it. I do think it was kind of fun back in the day when Guardians, first dropped and they were just playing music. They were playing the soundtrack out there in the area. There was a vibe.
They still do the dance parties.
They do at the dance
parties. And they're very popular.
But I love the original music loop for that area versus the current Avengers Campus where it just plays the theme over and over again nonstop. Please, dear God, change it at some point. Like put it back. Honestly, put it back. It was better when it was playing all this amazing. I'm sure that having the rights to that music was expensive, but come on, guys.
I believe you can buy lifetime theme park licenses though. I remember going through some like licensing document a while ago where if you're like, this song is just part of this theme park. Because, well, think about the music loops.
Mm-hmm.
That is licensed music. Disney doesn't make most of those songs.
No.
And they are there forever. Like, the Grizzly Peak loop has just random artists, like all the Craig Chiquiko songs.
Yeah.
I know Craig Chiquiko isn't like, commanding MetLife Stadium or whatever, but like, that music's just there. It's been there for 25 years.
Yeah.
So you can just buy music for a theme park.
Yeah. So speaking of bringing things back to Joe Rohde, who's leading this project, he is one of those Imagineers who is famous for like creating environments and really like bringing guests into their story. You just think of everything he did at Animal Kingdom, and when he got announced for this project, I thought it was a very interesting choice. Like he's not the first person I would have marked as like the Marvel guy, I feel like they're like, hey, Joe, we're going to kill the Tower of Terror. So, will you come and take the bullet? If you don't do it, someone else is going to do it and they're going to mess it up. Yeah. But I think that's the thing of like, ultimately there are failings here, but I think he brings it across the finish line. And there's some of that meta humor that really works well where it's like, he's the collector. so he can collect theme park things. And that's how you get Figment as being in one of the cages. And you have one of the original Harold the Yetis that's in the queue. And these are some, like, every guest mentions, every theme park, person is in there. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Like, that's cool. And it brings people, it does, something where it's like, you're going to have Marvel people who come in and there's like Easter eggs. Oh my gosh, we have Atlantis Easter eggs. We have Dark Elf Easter eggs. Great. You're a Marvel fan. You're a fan of the MCU. There's stuff to be excited about. And then if you are a park, fan, we also have things you can be excited about. That's cool. That's a good sort of mediation between those two. And around this time when Guardians opened, they had opening preview event. Do you remember the bunker lid that was in there?
Yeah, what the hell was that?
The teaser for Avengers Campus.
And then it ended up not.
Yeah, they had like shield agents going out, and they had like, it's a toxic spill or something that's going on out here. It led to absolutely nothing. But it was just to tease that more Marvel is coming, that there was that intention from the get-go of this is going to be a stamp of where the future is for this park. This is where we're going, guys. It's Marvel. They're taking over. It's happening. And that was cool. It was a cool moment. Summer of Heroes was cool, if anticlimactic to a certain degree, because it was just a teaser of what was happening, a guest interest test, if you will. But you also had Monsters After Dark that came around that Halloween, which is so cool that in the same year this ride opened, they had a Halloween overlay. Like, that was already planned.
Oh yeah.
And that was a cool, like, from the outward vibe of it. I remember when it was Monsters After Dark and you'd be waiting like 3 hours for this thing. Do you remember, like, Tower of Terror to Guardians? And even to this day, the wait times are much higher for Guardians of the Galaxy than they were for Tower of Terror.
Yes. I think it's because of kids.
Yeah.
But, like, there wasn't.
Well, and that's the thing is, kids aren't going on Tower.
It's not like there was a problem before, though.
No. But I do think that it is important to note that the popularity of this attraction, even long-term, to this day, remains. Guardians is one of those e-tickets you got to experience. It's like in the top 3 attractions for that park.
Yeah. But, yeah, like we said, beginning of the end, kind of.
Last note on
it. I love your last note, Freddie.
Yeah. Opened the same day as Pandora, the World of Avatar. Avatar opened up in the morning at Animal Kingdom. Joe Rohde's there, shaking hands, welcoming in guests. And then he immediately gets on a plane and flies over to California for that evening when they did an opening ceremony with Benicio del Toro for Guardians.
Yeah, it's
wild things. It was very fun as a Parks fan of, like, not in both projects, I would say, between Guardians and Avatar were not things that park fans were excited about.
Yeah,
and both turned out to, in general, given their faults, turned out to be good things, I think. Hits for the park, important for the park, important to guests, to general guests. They hit, and for theme park guests, at least for myself, I can admit it's pretty fun.
Yeah. It still bothers me. I'm just going to leave it at it still bothers me.
But if that was the first domino to fall, if that was the first death knell of Disney's California Adventure, the next one was really just a curb stopper. Pixar Pier. Now, I remember being there for D23, and I don't know if this is D23 2016 or around there. And you're sitting there and you're like, oh, cool. All right, what are we going to get? Is Tomorrowland finally going to get fixed, guys? No way. Not a chance. Not on your life. You know what we could do to California Adventure to make it even more exciting, more fun? Pixar Pier, ladies and gentlemen. Pixar Pier, your favorite characters, your favorite studio, Pixar, is taking over Paradise Pier, a place that was already pretty great. We can make it even greater with some cheap paint and babies on sticks.
We'll get to the babies on sticks. That was going to be some sort of artwork for this time, but I gave up on it.
That would have been pretty good.
Yeah, the Pixarification of DCA.
Yeah.
And the odd beginning of branded entertainment versus immersive entertainment.
Yeah.
Where Pixar is a brand. It is a movie studio that isn't they're cohesive based on a feeling and music, let's say.
Yeah.
But it's not like, no, like Avatar's like one movie, right? But it's not even like I'm trying to think. Well, okay, Star Wars.
Mhm.
Star Wars is one world,
Mhm.
right? Technically, Marvel is, but Pixar is a movie studio. We have a land named after
A movie
studio.
Yeah.
You know, it's like saying like this is Lionsgate Land.
Yeah,
Or
which does exist, but as a theme park in Dubai.
Oh, Dubai, dude.
Yeah.
No taste over there. No taste.
This is what we can get. This is who was willing to negotiate with us.
Yeah.
But like Pixar being a thing of like, I guess this is a theme now. We're going to go with this. And you can kind of tell the general struggle in terms of the creativity of how to make this work through the whole process, which was pretty well documented within the Blue Sky Cellar back in the day.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good era to go visit the Blue Sky Cellar. A lot of pieces of concept art of things that never happened or, got changed significantly. And Pixar, and this is kind of, I would say, in my opinion, the weakest attachment to Disney California Adventure that there is. The clearest corporate cash grab, the clearest
none of
we
it
have
takes
no
place in
ideas.
California. Like,
we have a company based in California, so they're going to take over the pier.
yeah.
And then it's going to be your favorite characters from that studio.
Yeah.
At a pier on the ocean side. Had no connection between the ocean and Pixar, but we're just going to go with it, guys.
Yeah. The only connection is Nemo, and he's not even there. There isn't anything, right? Not even a game.
No. The only connection is that Dory is your announcer voice for the Pixar Pal Around.
Oh.
Ellen DeGeneres.
There was a rumor for a time that there is, I guess now they're putting there is like a halfway expansion pad back there that they were going to move Turtle Talk with Crush.
Would have been, honestly, okay, and we're going to get into that a little bit later, but if Hollywoodland had gone away,
yeah,
then that's absolutely, they would have done that. But I will say, for as much as this is a branding decision, there were certain things on this project that were exciting, very, very much intentioned, and kind of planned from the beginning in terms of this. And this all comes down to when Midway Mania opened. Midway Mania was Midway Mania is definitely part of the golden age for this. It overall helped transform the pier. It brought a lot of guests and attention to the pier area, really solidified it as a destination on top of California Screamin'. But it was opening that door and the whole Pixarification of the park. Yes, you have Buzz Lightyear over in Tomorrowland. Yes, you have Nemo over in Tomorrowland. But California Adventure with Bugs Land and Cars Land is really becoming a little bit of a Pixar park. You even put the characters from Up over in Grizzly Peak.
Yeah, along with the characters from Brother Bear.
Yeah, sure.
Right next to each other. Yeah, so this was reportedly a Bob Chapek joint in which he said Imagineering is too slow and expensive, like I mentioned before, and that he was in charge of this project.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what departments he used, but he basically was like, we're just going to do this.
Yep.
Because there is this weird side of Disney where sometimes they use merchandise and branding and marketing departments to make things like Madame Leota's Somewhere Beyond, because that place doesn't even really have a sign. The sign is a printout. Because I think Imagineering was not super involved in it. The merchandising division. Yeah. So this was his hey, we're just going to change a new land and redo it so quickly and so cheaply that Imagineering will be embarrassed. And I don't know if this was his weird play to downsize Imagineering too.
It feels like that, but it also feels like when Chapek was trying to put his stamp on things and trying to say, he wanted to prove to the board, we can do everything cheaper.
Yeah.
We can do it cheaper. We can do it with less quality, and the guests will still spend money. And this was also, I do want to briefly mention that there was a lot of concept art and a lot of stuff when they had done Little Mermaid and they had done the whole golden age of DCA. Originally, their intention was to add a lot of Disney villains to this area The roller coaster Scream, California Scream was always going to get changed, but originally they were going to do it as a Disney Villains coaster. They were going to introduce them as like kind of like the villains on the boardwalk, which actually kind of feels like very much like playing into Coney Island, playing into like sort of the stereotypes of piers. Like that would have been interesting to see. But it was one of those things of like, yeah, no, we're going to dedicate all this money. We're going to add certain authentic ideas to the pier. Even if you do look at Pixar Pier in terms of the domes, the designs, there is a lot more ornamentation in Pixar Pier than there was in the original Paradise Pier. Things that are technically additions, things that could be good in concept, but then you slap a little, lamp on top of of your sign, and you do little things that are just inherently look cheap. And
can I remind you about something?
Yeah,
the lamp was late by 3 months.
Yeah, that's so true.
He wasn't done. The lamp was.
Oh gosh, so much was delayed.
We got to get into the concepts of this, but like, okay, we'll come back to the delays and the weird stuff.
Yeah,
let's talk about what it is. Sorry, the neighborhoods, which I introduced you to this concept. A few months ago when I was like, all the neighborhoods. And you're like, what are you talking? Was that you? He was like, what are you talking about?
No.
Was that Kevin?
I think it was Kevin. That was definitely
Kevin Perger from Defunctland. Go listen to that episode. When I said, Pixar Pier is like based off of the neighborhoods. This is the first time I've heard that word in regards to Pixar Pier.
It's like we have a land, but we're going to subdivide it by property, by IP.
Yeah. And it was like, Pixar, your friendly neighborhood Pixar. So we had, Incredibles Park, which, dude, I could not find it, but there's a piece of concept art where the archway, notice how it looks like it has arms and legs. It was going to be Elastigirl.
Yeah.
And then they realized how bad of an idea that is because of photo ops.
It's really bad.
Yeah. So
you know what guests are going to do with that?
RIP to that. The Toy Story Boardwalk, the Pixar Promenade, which is just it's nothing.
It's just the boardwalk games and the Pixar Pal Around, which, speaking of that, there is concept art where instead of Mickey's face, they were going to have the ball, the Pixar ball.
Luxo, it's a Luxo ball. It's called the Luxo ball. Okay. I think it's because it's his ball.
Yeah, Luxo Jr.'s ball.
Yeah. So, but it's called the Luxo ball, which is so funny.
But like, and that would have been fine because it's a beach and it's a beach ball, which is your loosest connection to the. I guess that's the only one. Beach ball. There it is. But
ironically, they did not have the balls.
They didn't have the balls to do that, both from a financial side and from a like park perspective.
Like they removed Mickey Mouse.
The Mickey Mouse logo on that fun wheel was iconic. That immediately, besides the logo of like looking at Carthay Circle Theater being a new icon, that was the true icon for the park.
That was on the Snapchat filter.
Yeah.
Remember
Huge.
that? And then Inside Out headquarters, which we would not get with the opening of the land.
Yeah, that wasn't not until a year later.
We didn't even get construction on it.
Oh, shoot.
Because something else had to die first. And we haven't even gotten there.
Oh, yeah. So we'll get there.
In the artwork, though, we had a little bit of hope. Because the Inside Out headquarters was seemingly going to have all the memory balls surround the central ride, but mounted on or right next to Screamin' or Incredicoaster all the way up, which would have been a really cool little area.
Yeah.
And then they decided not to do that. We got all these dumb little neighborhoods. It made no sense. This was just super contrived. We knew it at the time. And they announced the opening anyway.
Yeah.
And with that opening, you would get no Luxo Jr. That is the lamp that moves around. He's an animatronic. He may or may not. Is he one of those autonomous ones?
I don't think so. He has programmed movements, and then he does sync up with World of Color.
Yeah,
which
he
is
watches
always
World
cool.
of Color.
That I think is fun.
Yeah.
I think that's and there is, we'll point out a few things here. There are a few things that work in Pixar Pier that I think are nice.
But when it opened, he wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Jesse's Critter Carousel
let you finish,
was not open.
Yeah, that was a later
Jesse's Critter Carousel was not open. It's just a carousel.
Yeah.
They just had to rebrand it. I like King Triton's carousel.
Yeah.
I think it was very ornately themed.
And it was perfect because you already had Avalon Cove, which was the Little Mermaid restaurant. And then they open the Little Mermaid ride. So that's 3 Little Mermaid things. Within walking, it makes sense.
Around the bay.
Wow.
And so Inside Out had nothing. You could just, there wasn't, no walls.
Bing Bong's Confectionery opened before that.
Bing Bong wasn't there either.
Yeah, they just had empty space.
It was, Bing Bong was supposed to be an animatronic.
Yes.
They kept saying he's not ready.
Mm-hmm.
And you would just see his trunk coming out of a black curtain.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, okay, they're building the animatronic. And then they put a statue. So I'm like, did they have an animatronic that failed? Or did they just not know if they were going to do it or not?
They never did the animatronic. It was a commitment issue.
Delayed for a statue.
Yeah.
And then, we had the Silly Symphony swings, which was just already there, which got moved into a new land called Paradise Gardens Park. And we'll come back to that. But yeah, the attractions for this land weren't open. Incredicoaster was open, and Toy Story Midway Mania, which was completely unchanged, except the color of or they had already painted
the color of the roofs. They did paint that.
Yeah. That's all. Like, that's all they had, and they only really kind of changed one of them. So, Incredicoaster,
we should get into that. Yeah,
is a rebrand of California Screamin', and in the queue, you learn that the Incredibles saved the day so well that a newly dedicated roller coaster,
absolutely
named in their honor, and Dash calls out that all they got was like a coat of paint and a name or something like that. I forgot what he says, but he calls out the fact that they just renamed a roller coaster for them.
Yeah, they just renamed it. Yeah.
And closed up the tubes, changed the colors, and added some dumb story where Jack's getting away, and then put a bunch of statues on the ride.
Yeah.
And a little Dash effect, which is kind of cute.
It's kind of fun. There's certain aspects. So this was very much an intended thing. And I will bring this up now. The original thing here was just changing California Screamin' into the Incredicoaster. That was the entire idea here. It was still going to be Paradise Pier, unchanged. It was just going to be the Incredicoaster. And this was lining up with Incredibles 2 coming out. There was whole synergy motion. Chapek loved synergy so much. And they took that whole budget for that overlay, and that's where Chapek was like, let's do the whole pier, whole thing, whole land change with the budget for that one ride, which immediately meant everything's getting done cheap. Everything's getting scaled back. Quality is down because we don't have the money. And in fact, part of the reason you had so many delays, which was the whole intention of doing this fast and doing it cheap, turned into everything's delayed and everything's over budget by twice.
Yeah, and it's like a weird thing with Pixar because this happened to the hotel, where they'll open it just to say it wasn't delayed, and then it's just missing a bunch of things. Like the Pixar Place Hotel opened without the top 2 floors being done. I ventured up there, and it was a construction zone. Like, I'm surprised the doors opened.
Yeah.
I got to show you the photos. It's like really bad.
Yeah.
They opened this land early. The 2 things we got out of Incredicoaster that are nice, the big metal Incredibles logo, which may or may not, was it a fountain?
It was a fountain, and
right now.
They kept having to replace the tile work because they kept rusting.
Yeah,
it's just nothing worked.
And then we got the Par House.
Yes, yeah,
and a removal of a billboard so you could see the Par House.
Yeah,
and
which is just a failure of design,
Yeah, but something cool. A lot of people ask about it. The little numbers that look like their address are which cars are running. They used to use colors.
Fun details.
They used to use colors for the trains because the trains are all different colors.
And now you can't.
Now they're all red.
Yeah. And there was original concept art too, that the roller coaster vehicle. So you had, the version that we had, but they also were going to do versions that looked like the Incredicar.
Oh.
And I'm like, man, that would have been cool. But also it would have meant you had a painted black roller coaster in the sun.
Yeah.
It would have been very hot. But like, I think overall, there are fun aspects to the Incredicoaster. I think that the music is fun. The idea of little show sequences is a fun idea. But ultimately annoying with characters constantly yelling at you. And any time that the music desyncs, everything falls apart. You're like, what is this experience? It ruined what was otherwise an amazing roller coaster.
Yeah, it's so weird how it's such a simple roller coaster compared to even anything at Knott's, but it's so fun because it's a fake wooden roller coaster.
Yeah.
And what's funny, like, you know, the show sequences that suck, the weird cookie smell that doesn't smell like cookies and that some people are allergic to, which is also odd.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then also, I say this on the ride, you know, when he goes, he's multiplying. And I just go, is he? Like, Jack is just on a bunch of sticks.
Yep.
They don't even do like a popping effect because there's no way they're going to sink that, right? It's just a bunch of statues on sticks, which is so Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue.
Oh, yeah.
In like 2018, right? Is that what it was? A note about the opening. I was there the day of the preview.
Oh, yeah, the paid one?
Paid preview party.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up.
There were signs everywhere saying you could still buy tickets to it because nobody cared.
And it was so expensive for what
it was like
you weren't getting
or
anything.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very much just a cash grab, and it was a bad one at that.
And like a few influencers went, no one cared.
It was bad.
It was such a
it was
disgrace,
bad.
man.
Speaking of other bad things, do you remember the original logo?
Yes. So I bring this up all the time.
Yeah.
As someone who uses Reddit, unfortunately, the Pixar Pier has had this logo. It still has the two P's.
Yeah,
the PP. Yeah. But it really was that because under that was the notice the bottom of the P's are curved.
Yeah.
And that's because Luxo Jr. was underneath there. Flip it around, Wicked Witch. Turn that thing around. You don't even need to turn it around. Looks like a little rocket ship and submarine, if you know what I mean.
Amazing.
It was, so that was pointed out on Reddit.
Yep.
And because it was on the construction walls.
Yes.
And then like 3 days later,
it finally got taken down.
They removed those walls and put blank ones and then changed the logo. And that is actually 100% because of Reddit.
Yes. But also, there's a part of me that believes that's entirely intentional by some artist.
Oh, like, so there's a...
Like, it is so oblivious or like so obvious that it's like somebody had to intentionally have done that as an FU.
So there is a subreddit on Reddit called They Knew. And they knew.
They knew.
There are a few things like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Do you know what I'm talking about, Freddie?
Maybe not.
What Goofy says?
Oh, yeah, I know that.
That one's rough. They got to change it, man. They got to change it. You literally could say, hey, guys.
Yeah. If they haven't changed it now, I don't think they ever... because they opened it in Florida. It was there for years.
Yeah, but they say that in Florida.
Here, but when they opened it here, it got much more attention.
Yeah, because in California, we think that's a bad word.
Woo, damn.
Because it is, by the way.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, that's definitely another
Florida
thing to point
man
out.
asks if he can say it.
Okay, last thing on Pixar Pier. We've talked about everything bad about it. It's poorly executed. Does not work. Everything is a downgrade in terms of quality and overall, conception. I like Lamplight Lounge.
Yes.
I like it a lot.
Lamplight Lounge, unfortunately, gave Imagineering carte blanche for saying this is a converted warehouse / this is a converted studio into a public space.
Yeah.
That's where they're like, this works. Because they kind of did it with Mission Breakout. And they're like, okay, Lamplight Lounge, converted warehouse. And then they're like, oh, World of Disney, the old animation studio.
Converted bus stop.
Yeah. And then bus stop.
Yeah. If you go inside of World of Disney, on the right side of World of Disney, there's a bunch of stuff marking it for transportation.
Huh?
It's like a bus depot.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll point it out next time we're over there.
And then Spider-Man, converted automotive warehouse.
Yeah.
Everything is like, oh, this isn't an abandoned thing.
Used to be something, and now we're using it for modern things.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's supposed to be like where animators would go after animating.
Yeah. This is where we'd hang out. And, to be fair, if you watch any Pixar documentary, those are spaces that exist up in Emeryville in terms of like they make like hidden bars and like little things to like hang out and relax. And paying homage to that and to the artists at the studio is actually a cool thing.
But you know what else this is? This is a Burbank ice cream situation.
It is. Oh,
where
wow. That's
the
good.
average person
Yeah.
is not like, oh yes, Pixar up in Emeryville.
Yeah.
You know, like I gotta scratch the back of my brain to come up with Emeryville.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh yeah, the animators, that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But it worked because it just ended up being cool.
It's just a cool space.
You
to be
don't
in, yeah.
feel like you're in the animation studio.
No.
You just like look at all the cool stuff on the walls and the
Yeah.
bricks and the comfy chairs and the drinks.
View.
Yeah.
The drinks and the view.
Yeah. That's really all you need sometimes. When it opened, the menu was fantastic. The drinks were fantastic. Now
It's gone downhill.
it's like we're like 70% there now.
Yeah.
It went from a good 4 stars to 3. I'm saying like out of 4.
Yeah.
We're not going out of 5. It's a 3 out of 4 now. It was a 4 out of 4, let's say.
I'd say sometimes it's a 2 out of 4, honestly. It's gotten to a
Depends on
sad
the
point.
service is like terrible now,
Yeah.
which is so odd. But the music was so great when it opened. I used to,
Yeah.
dude, there were times I was there an hour and a half to 2 hours with like just hanging out, and they wouldn't even kick you out. They'd be like, whatever,
Yeah.
sit at the bar. I used to just go
get a
sit at the
beer.
bar.
It's
and-
a great spot, honestly. And that's one of those few things of like, there is one good thing that came out of this. Only one, you know?
yeah. But let's talk about Inside Out.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, because you're like one more thing. I'm like, there's another. So Inside Out, emotional whirlwind, was like a year and a half, if not 2 years later.
Yeah.
No, not 2 years because that's COVID, but like it was sometime in 2019, I think. And it is Flick's Flyers from A Bug's Land. They had to kill Bug's Land to get this ride because they were definitely not going to buy another one because they had bought the first one. Imagineering didn't even build it. And they just put like 6 rows of memory balls on like some plastic looking wall at like what feels like waist height. And then this like ugly covering in the middle. It looks really bad. And it looks nothing like the concept art. And it's a completely non-immersive space in something that could have been super immersive. They're just like random purple walls around.
Yeah.
And a dumb little
A lot of them
statue
were,
in the
they were
front.
all prefab too. It was just like drop in.
Yeah.
The crane.
So they did it quick and on the cheap. And it's fine. Kids like it. It could have, here's the thing. It was always going to be what it is, but they could have just done it better.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's nice that they were using the Malboomer space, using that section of the coaster for something. In fact, the section over by Incredicoaster, they were supposed to put the Omni Droid in there as a attraction that you'd be in the arms of the Omni Droid and it would spin based off of the Shanghai Jetpacks attraction that had just opened. But they couldn't put it in there because there's only one entryway in and one way out. So fire marshals would not allow that to be built.
Oh, is this like behind the coaster?
So in that first circle where you take your photo, they were going to put the Omni Droid in there as a spinner. Yeah, but they just couldn't do it legally speaking. It's not possible, and they would have had to change the structure of the coaster, which they weren't willing to do.
Yeah,
that would have cost even more money. You know, in fact, to a point of like when they did Midway Mania, they were very careful on how they cut guests in through the coaster to get access to the show building. But yeah.
So, oh well, they had to awkwardly rename Paradise Gardens Park, or the park, of Paradise Gardens Park became the land.
Yeah.
June 23rd, 2018. This absorbed Silly Symphony Swings, Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta, Goofy Sky School, Jumpin' Jellyfish,
Flying Zephyr.
Golden Zephyr.
I keep saying Flying Zephyr.
And Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
And ended right at Little Mermaid.
Yes.
And funnily enough, caused Jumpin' Jellyfish to be the last untouched thing from DCA 1.0
Mm-hmm.
because Golden Zephyr had to have the Paradise Pier sign removed.
Oh yeah.
Which it's still technically an untouched ride, but it is changed because it said Paradise Pier on it, and they just had to get rid of that because now Paradise Pier is dead.
It's gone.
But
I'm kind of sad about it. It would have been funny if it was still there.
Yeah. But during this time, up until literally a year ago, the Paradise Pier Hotel still existed.
Yeah.
With the original furnishing from 2001. Or it wasn't 2001. It was a little bit after. It was
2005?
It was a weird thing because
4 or 5,
someone else owned it, right?
Yeah, and it was the Disney's Pan Pacific or something like that. It was a Japanese-owned hotel at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if only we had a Japanese-owned hotel now, you know? Yeah, so they just kind of stopped there.
It's the forgotten corner, you know, and even to this day, it is this section that just does not belong anywhere, and that's why it's awkward, kind of just like you know, it's the parade corridor. It's this whole thing of just like you go to the Incredicoaster pier and it just stops, you know, or the Incredicoaster like edge there, and there's not even a sign going in from that side that says you're entering Pixar Pier.
Yeah.
Which is an awkward, like there's no marquee. You just wander in.
You are clearly exiting the pier.
Yes.
But you're not going anywhere else. I don't think, the only thing that tells you you're in Paradise Gardens Park are the trash cans.
Yeah. That's the only branding that there is. And that's cheap. That's easy to replace.
You know, I have like some good photos of, oh wait, we didn't talk about Mickey's Fun Wheel.
Not really, you know.
It has possibly the worst name for an attraction I've ever heard. You said it earlier.
Yeah.
Mickey's Fun Wheel, which was the Sun Wheel. So we had a good lineage.
Fun Wheel.
Fun Wheel. All right. Is now, they could have just called it the Pixar Fun Wheel. I don't think anyone would have said anything.
It would have been fine.
But it's a Pixar PAL around. PAL-A-round.
Jeez.
And then it's got Mickey on the front, and then all the Pixar characters on the gondolas.
Yeah.
And then like underneath it all, when you zoom out, it still has like the tracks for the swinging are sun rays. It's insane.
They should have just put the Luxo ball on the back of the thing.
Yeah, but then they'd have to put something on the back instead of putting nothing on the back. You don't want to do anything. So, you know, we got another Kugel ball.
Kugel ball?
Yes. The Luxo ball water thing from Tomorrowland.
yes.
There's like a specific number of them in the world.
Wow.
Not like, I know guys, there's a specific number of it. Like it is a documented number of how many of these things are.
Like 12?
It's something like that.
Damn.
Let's see.
Kugel ball.
Yeah, I have to be real careful to say that one correctly. Let's see. Kugel ball fountain. Yeah, let's see. Like it has a Kugel fountain. Sorry. The second photo of it is like locations. So there's just a list of how many of them there are.
Oh, nice.
Okay, it's quite a few now.
Oh, good.
But a lot of them are in California.
They started out, well, I mean, it's a very California thing. Sunny weather, and here's an easy thing.
It won't freeze. That's a thing that's been happening.
Won't freeze.
Dude, like, we don't think about it.
No. But yeah, that's that. Anyway, back to Paradise Gardens Park. Plaza de la Familia. Which, I mean, when
I'm glad you're the one who said it out loud.
When Coco came out, you know, it's one of those moments where you're like, oh, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, I don't know if it still is today, but it was like the #1 box office animated film, and you know, at the Mexican box office, and just like huge things in terms of it just being a cultural moment that appealed to a lot of people who live here in California.
Yes.
So like it's that moment of just like, oh, this belongs here. Like this is perfect.
Disney realizing Mexicans exist.
Yeah.
And I say that as a dig to Disney because it's like, oh yeah, they have a Halloween event.
Yeah.
You know, like they have the food and they're here and they come to the park. Maybe we should just put the movie that is about them here.
Yeah.
And we're getting more of that soon, but we can't get ahead of ourselves.
No, but I'm just saying as a teaser of a preview of things to come.
Yep.
Absolutely. And that worked. And the last thing I'm going to say is just like, maybe they will one day, but until that happens, Why have they not just finished off Pixar Pier and Pixified the whole thing all the way through? And I do think that there's some trouble in like, then what do you do with Little Mermaid? What do you do with that? But until they answer that question, Paradise Gardens Park, it's kind of lost as a land, but it still has plenty of things that draw people to it. It is nowhere near as lost as Hollywoodland is, which is going to get resolved.
Yeah.
But until then, it is just Paradise Gardens Park.
Yeah. But we have a world to save.
Oh, yes.
And some bugs to squash.
Oh, bug squashing time.
Yeah. So at some point in, I think 2018, was it like September 2018?
Yeah.
They closed a Bugs Land for Avengers Campus.
And even before we really get into that closure, it's like, okay, they teased it with Guardians. We knew from the moment Guardians Mission Breakout opened, they're pretty obvious. More Avengers are coming. More superheroes are coming here. And they actually have the Eastern Gateway Project, which is already a thing out in the world. Now, this is something that's actually happening, a parking structure built on the other side, a security hub, a new bus and transportation depot. But it was going to omit Harbor Boulevard. And so the hotels got upset about that. And pretty quickly, negotiations.
Local businesses got
businesses, yeah. That got grounded to a halt.
Yeah.
And so their whole idea of expanding Hollywoodland, things that they had done with hype balloons, they had done a lot of testing for it. In fact, when they dropped a teaser poster for Avengers Campus very early on, you could see Guardians and the land, and it was positioned from the existing pathway walking towards Guardians from Hollywoodland.
Yeah, because as I've said on the show like too many times, the bus depot that we were talking about in the news was going to be completely moved. That's always been part of the plan.
Always.
And Hollywoodland was going to completely go away, I believe.
Yes. In this version, it would have been Buena Vista Street and welcome to Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah. And that would extend out into kind of the Esplanade, ticket booths, bus depot, and that was going to be the Marvel land.
Yeah.
Which would have been great because at this point, you have killed Tower of Terror. Who cares about Hollywood? Nobody in California likes Hollywood.
Yeah.
So we were going to just get an expansive Marvel land. I'm like, okay, they could do some cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. And there was a ton of rumors back in the day as to what this was. Again, they had done hype balloons for this stuff. They had been testing. One of the rumored concepts was going to be a Captain America motorcycle coaster based off of the Tron Light Cycle Run ride system. Just that, but outside with giant Captain America shield logo up there. Yeah. I don't know, something like that. Another concept I had heard about early on that they had been planning was doing a whole expansion that and this goes all the way back to even Tomorrowland in terms of doing Lucasport and having a separate expansion that would go out. They were going to do an expansion on the Toy Story lot. And so it would be a fully immersive New York City with Spider-Man attractions and Avengers attractions. Fully immersive. From the outside, you couldn't get there. You can only get there by being in California Adventure, and you would ride on a New York City subway to get there. So they would build almost like Hogwarts Express, which at this time, this was the time that you had the guy who had done that for Universal, who had joined Imagineering pitching ideas. And this was one of them. So you would have actually gone over and it would have been immersive New York, very much an offshoot from California Adventure. So you wouldn't even have to deal with thematic inconsistencies. But that would have been expensive. That would have been hugely expensive. You know who's in charge right now? Chapek. He's not going to pay for that. We're not doing that. We're not going to stand for that at all. But once Eastern Gateway had faltered, all those massive ideas, this huge, we can do anything, infinite potential. It's the MCU after all, and we are just riding high on that MCU cash flow.
Yeah, and I don't know if they would have demolished Hollywoodland, because they could reuse things, but it's in a corner of the park where there is there's only two entrances.
Yeah.
And it's not a shortcut really anywhere. Especially because a Bugs Land was not like this huge hot ticket and you could go through a Bugs Land to get to Cars Land. They could have just taken their time and had all the space and room and the buses would have been gone.
Yeah.
And they could have just when you have that much room and space and time, construction can be cheaper because you don't have to deal with as much safety stuff and whatever. But that wasn't the case. So they decided, let's squash the bugs.
Goodbye, Bugs Land.
Which is, I think, a crazy thing to do.
Yeah.
Because I know they like synergy and whatever, right? But a Bugs Land was popping all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a thing for kids to do.
Yes.
And the reason that's important is you need to give parents a reason to take their kids there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was there. And it was pretty. The upkeep was probably real easy because it was bumper cars, Flix Flyers, a little choo-choo train, which is a lot cheaper than the Spider-Man vehicles, I'll tell you that. And they're just like, we're going to squash the bugs and then squish an entire land into this tiny little plot and try to put a big ride in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Avengers Campus finally gets announced. And at the time, it's ambitious, to say the least. So we're going to take this tiny piece of property. You know, one could almost call it an alleyway. It's so narrow, it doesn't feel like a full land. And we're going to take the Bugs Theater. It's tough to be a bug theater. And we're going to turn that into a Spider-Man ride, a full ride, a shooter, no less, with giant vehicles called Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure.
Yeah, not to be confused with Web Swingers, which doesn't exist.
No.
And yeah, this is a screen-based ride.
Mm-hmm.
We got the leaks from it because they were going to put the same ride in Paris.
Yes.
Same layout. So it took over the theater.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of go down into it from the queue when you go down the stairs. And big space, but not big enough. It needs at least one more screen.
Yeah.
Right. Projection-based screen ride with motion controls, so nothing can really break. No guns to replace, none of that. And the problem from the get-go is thinking that kids care about shooting the webs at things.
Yeah.
But the Spider-Man fantasy is swinging around like Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fulfilled at the Spider-Man ride in Islands of Adventure.
Yes.
Which is more or less the same as Transformers in Universal Studios Hollywood. So they already got the wrong fantasy. You can shoot Spider-Man webs. I mean, they are toys that let you fulfill the fantasy.
And in fact, they will sell you those toys in Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
That also connect to the ride. And there's so much of this, both the Spider-Bot and the Slinger attachments. It's all out of consumer products because that's who's in charge at the time. So this whole experience was really designed to appease the product side of the business and less so to make an actual fulfilling attraction, make something that's excited for families and kids. I will say that this is meant to be the all ages attraction for the land. This is meant to be there's no height requirement. All the kids can ride. And it is important for you to have your most approachable character, who is Spider-Man, be something that children can actually meet and interact with. And in that, Web Slingers succeeds. I do think that there's weaknesses, especially in execution. There is a moment in Web Slingers where your vehicle is awkwardly positioned from the wall. And it's supposed to be when you get like a picture taken. And originally, they were going to have 4 Spider-Man or maybe 2 Spider-Man animatronics that would drop down, and he's holding a camera, and he was going to take your picture while Spider-Man's upside down. And that all got budget cut.
Why? They could have just done a statue of that, and no one would have known the difference.
Budget cut.
Insane.
Does not matter. Everything got budget cut. In fact, you know, and we're going to bring it up right now. Pim's Test Kitchen, which is the restaurant space for the land.
No. Pim Test Kitchen. We call it Pim's. I call it Pim's.
But there's no apostrophe S.
Pim, because Pim is the company, not the guy.
Oh man, yeah,
not the guy.
But real quick, because we will keep talking about the ride in a moment. But speaking of budget cuts and all these things, on the building, which is Animation Academy, that's behind that building, behind Pim, and early on, it was just a tan facade. And when you were looking at pictures of Avengers Campus, or you're like, that's ugly, that's horrific. You're going to open this land, and you're not, you're going to have the inconsistency of just a giant tan box if you turn around. And it actually took them changing the presidents of the resort for a new president of California Adventure. He walked in and he's like, that's unacceptable. Brought in Josh D'Amaro. That's unacceptable. And so they found some money to paint the building gray. Like, that's how bad it was, that even just thinking, that's a little inconsistent. Why aren't we just spending money on paint?
Yeah.
Oh, it's too expensive. We can't do that.
Literally spray it on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then they actually put a little theming with the pipes.
Yes, which is nice. Little enhancements, little things. It's something. You gotta have something.
Yeah.
I can't just turn around and see a blank wall. That's not gonna work. Yeah. But web slingers. Do you have any more thoughts on that attraction?
It's officially Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure.
Yes.
Why isn't it just Spider-Man Web Slingers?
Because we're in the colon Chapek era.
You'd probably still put a colon because you have to, because Spider-Man is hyphenated.
Yeah.
But like, there's Spider-Man right up front. I think they want it. I feel like in their pocket, they have like, we want to be able to drop the other thing at some point.
Yeah.
But they're never going to drop a Spider-Man adventure.
No.
Like, Galaxy's Edge could just be called that, but no, it's Star Wars : Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ride kind of sucks. They put a little Heimlich thing on there. It's tiring. And
I still personally have fun with it as far as shooters go. I think that the hand tracking, it does end too quickly. Again, is a quality of having too small of a show building. Yeah. But I do think that the hand tracking, the fact that like it works, at least for me, I've never had an issue with it. It works pretty well.
It works. And if your score is not high, you have to focus on the objectives.
Yeah.
There are objectives of like hit the little green guys, find the gold ones.
And it's an actual game. There's layers to it. I like that.
The game is too short for you to get the hang of it, or remember all the rules, or look around long enough. You don't have enough time in each scene to see everything, to find all the Easter eggs. Whereas like something like Astro Blasters, you move slowly through the space, and it gives you time to look around, as opposed to like you got to just keep slinging.
Yeah. But I do think that another side of that is when you're using your hands, you will get more exhausted. And so I think that if it was any longer than that, my arms already hurt after that. If it was any longer, as much as it would be a better game, it would be a little bit more
We
painful.
can all use the cardio. That's what that CFO.
True.
That's what that CFO would have said.
That is what the CFO would have said. But anyway, I do think again that there are certain things. Spider bots do sell. The web attachments, not so much, but it was a cool idea that you could buy a thing that would give you the powers of a superhero and go on a ride where that actually worked. I think that's a cool concept. Nice idea.
So I think now is the time to tell people how important Web Slingers or Spider-Man Adventure was to the land the day it opened, June 4th, 2021. Mm-hmm. During the pandemic, like right when masks were back on. Yeah. In the heat. Which is fine, but that's something to remember. They anticipated such a busy land that the only way to get into Avengers Campus was to have a virtual queue reservation for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which we did. And this was the ticketed era. Mm-hmm. So if you did not get the virtual queue, you were not going into Avengers Campus. No. And you can only be in there.
Was it 2 hours or something? Or?
Supposedly. They're not going to kick you out. But they'd only let you in at a certain point. There was a standby line though. Yeah. But it was like 3 hours long.
Jeez.
I think this lasted like 8 days or something.
It was something short. Yeah.
But we did do it. I think I went like June 8th or something like that. Very quickly after it opened. We did the ride. We thought it was cool. We did have the cloth Trammin masks at the time.
Nice.
It was very hard. Like listen, I want to make this clear.
Yeah.
It was hard to breathe people who don't have like breathing problems like that the doctor told them they have. I don't want to hear it. All right. Don't be a baby. But it was hard to breathe on Spider-Man Web Slinger Adventure, whatever the hell, with the mask on, flinging your arms around and then going outside. And it was like 88 degrees
or something.
Yeah.
I do remember how hot it was. Yeah.
It was so hot.
No shade. This is a land with no shade.
It was so hot that when we did go to Pim Test Kitchen and get the chocolate bar, it was disgusting and it melty. And I gave half of it to Rain. So I had to meet Rain at the entrance of the land because we got different virtual queues and hand him this chocolate bar over the barrier. Like,
Wow.
like when I went, the cast room was like, "Are you leaving?" I'm like, "I'm giving that guy something right now,"
Nice.
which is insane. So yeah, it was a whole vibe when it opened. But let's talk about Pym Test Kitchen.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Impossible.
Yeah, interesting to note.
Still such a big name these days, huh?
Yeah, surprisingly, I guess.
It is still on there. They do have like one Impossible item. I guess they do have a breakfast item.
The shawarma. I forgot to write that.
Well, no,
on
that
here.
is
We'll get
was at the cart, and they don't have the breakfast one anymore, do they?
there. I think they switched it out for something. They have a breakfast option still.
Oh, at Pym Test Kitchen.
Yes.
I'm saying the shawarma cart had the breakfast shawarma.
Yeah. I still think it has a breakfast option, but it's not the breakfast shawarma.
Yeah, that thing was incredible. It
was great.
It was impossible. It had a sriracha maple syrup.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was fake in it, and it was wonderful. Pym Test Kitchen, breakfast, not that great.
No.
The big spoon. Did they get rid of the big spoon because people stole it?
Remember? Yeah, I think they did.
That was a whole thing.
Kind of fun. They have some references in there because of the whole shrinking and growing thing. They had the giant. What was it called? It was referencing the farms.
Bountiful Valley?
Bountiful Valley, yes. The giant bottles of like ketchup and mustard and stuff are Bountiful Valley.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I get like Hidden Valley Ranch. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and even mentioning Pym, it's like the walk around Wasp and Ant-Man holding Bugs Land. It's like there's little cute, cutesy little things here that we can kind of draw some parallels to that are fun. Overall, I would say the food was fine when it opened up. I think it's still fine today.
The weird peanut butter sandwich with bacon was fun.
Yeah.
The chicken sandwich is pretty good because it's panko. The bread on it sucks though. What else do we got?
What's
the Impossible meatball?
Yeah.
The big old pretzel. Now they got the taco salad. They have the chimichanga because of Deadpool. I don't know if it's still around. They that comes and goes. They do the big pretzel, and then they do like a loaded pretzel. And loaded pretzel kind of sucks. The drinks there, the coffees, they're okay. And then there's Pym Tasting Lab.
Oh yeah, microbrewery.
Yeah.
I remember how they talked up the beer getting filled up from the inside, like oh yeah, like when Thor's beer got refilled. And it's just like a thing that they have on cruise ships.
What are you talking about?
So they have plastic cups, they put them on to fill up with beer, and they fill up from the bottom.
Do they don't do that?
They still have them there. I don't know if they do them anymore, but they still have the machine there.
Huh. Yeah, I've never seen them do it. Maybe,
but that was advertised as part of Avengers Campus. It was like, oh, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
But Pym Tasting Lab, I feel like I go there more than I go to Pym Test Kitchen.
Yeah, you get the souvenir cup, which is cool.
Yeah,
but then you realize you paid like $19 for a margarita.
Yeah.
Jeez,
it wasn't
like
that good.
Some vodka with coffee and milk in it.
But like the whole issue with Pym Tasting Lab is there's no seating. Yeah. There was never enough seating. Ever.
Because it looks like a bar. And then they kind of put a bar in front of it. And then, it didn't work out.
No seating, no shade. It was so much worse before. Now they have all those umbrellas.
They have to do construction to do shade.
That's insane.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Over the, Pym Test Kitchen.
Yep.
Yes.
What I never understood about this was like, you could have gone vertical, man. You could have had a second floor.
Yeah, because the stupid buildings behind it anyway.
Like what? Like what's the point? Why not? Budget. Oh, we don't have the money for that.
But they could have done a whole bar on top and made so much money. There's always a stupid line out there.
Yeah.
And mobile order, which people don't know about. Mm-hmm. And that could have easily been.
It's a failure from design philosophy.
It's dumb because having seating increases capacity of like people paying.
Yeah.
And it's so like you can't be cutting budgets like that because you can't fix it later.
Yeah.
And everything is just so short-sighted all the time because everyone's looking for the next promotion.
Yeah.
So, here's another like fingers crossed. Josh D'Amaro is not going to get promoted anymore. So maybe he's just like, spend it and send it.
Spend the money because we're going to make it back.
Yeah.
Because he knows that they'll make it back.
Yeah.
Oh, fingers crossed. Anyway, Avengers Campus. Something that we should talk about that works. The living land idea, the walk around heroes and villains.
Before that, I do want to give one shout out to Pym Test Kitchen. Okay. 2 shout outs. One, honeycomb wall. Looks very cool. But the true shout out, the practical shrinking effect inside. Shrinking and growing effect.
The pretzel assembly line.
Because they do have real pretzels going into the shrink ray. or it does both. It makes some bigger, some smaller. What I don't know what it does, but or they all get bigger, right? Is that what it is?
They get bigger, I think.
Yeah, they all get bigger.
Some get bigger and some get smaller.
Yeah,
that's
but the point is, there is a practical effect going into a little like digital effect that looks practical, and it works, and it's a fun little touch.
Yeah,
that we actually got something moving around in there, and it's cute.
Could have been cut so easily. In fact, I believe the Paris version is all digital.
I think that's the thing. That's where I first heard it called out. Like, oh, shout out to Disneyland for doing this.
Yeah. Those like somebody died on that hill. Somebody absolutely died on that hill.
Look, just put plastic pretzels on a conveyor. You know,
like this is so cheap.
Yeah,
it's a laundry rack, guys. Come on. Anyways, excellent. Pim Test Kitchen. A Living Land. Walk around heroes and villains. The Avengers Assemble show. This was the one thing that worked. Something that was not done in Galaxy's Edge when it opened in 2019 was finally lived up to with Avengers Campus. Walk around characters, all these and I get it. They don't look like your on-screen thing, but that's not the whole thing. It's when you watch the kids see their favorite character walk around, they get to interact with them. There's just something special about it. There's something that works.
Yeah, they know exactly who everyone is. They don't.
Yeah,
it totally works. You got Black Panther. Now you have 2 Black Panthers running around at different times.
Yeah.
I was never a fan of their show, but the Dora Milaje were perfect.
It was great. Yeah.
They look exactly like they do in the movie. Dude.
Yep. And everybody does stop and like, oh, something's happening. The Avengers Assemble show.
Stunt show.
Which was tied into the Black Widow movie of all things.
Taskmaster.
Oh my God. And it's one of those things of just like, I don't think it works, but it's generic enough that they were able to swap in heroes depending on who they had. And that was actually cool when you had the Black Panther. And so he had a different effect versus somebody else. And then, you have them shooting arrows. And when they had those effects actually work where the arrows would pop up from the railing.
Oh, I never saw that.
Those were cool.
That must have worked 3 times.
Absolutely. Only 3 times.
Yeah. But he would rappel down.
Yeah.
And you even got the, there were technically 2 shows.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Hawkeye Christmas special.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
That was fun, dude. Because it was silly. And it was Christmas time. So it was like
when they threw up the cheap decorations on the Avengers headquarters building.
Yeah. And they fought with the candy canes. And then they all did Auld Lang Syne where all the characters came out at the end. Yeah. That was kind of cute. And yeah, like you said, this living land of like Marvel television on Disney Plus, there was a huge push.
Yep.
In 2021.
And this was part of it where, and part of the reason you don't have a lot of characters in Galaxy's Edge, sometimes these characters are paid for not by the park, but by the studio as a marketing thing. And so they were able to get away with this of just like, hey, Moon Knight's coming out. Well, here's Moon Knight.
Yeah.
He's there on top. Oh my gosh. He's just brooding.
Cool. And then they had Mr. Knight.
Yeah, Mr. Knight
showed up.
Yep. And when the Loki show was happening, and every week he had a different outfit lined up with that week's episode.
And then the craziest, but also most unfair thing they ever did was in the middle of Oogie Boogie Bash. Middle of the run of Oogie Boogie Bash, the Zombie Cap showed up because of the What If show, and I got to meet him. So,
which is cool.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like that's Marvel Studios realizing what they had in terms of marketing.
Yeah.
Like their marketing division was like, guys, gold, pure gold. Like not even for your sake, but for our show's sake, we can have these characters out here meeting.
And then it's funny because it would spoil TV shows. Yeah. After I always call it the Captain Falcon show.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like the day after it ended, they had Winter Soldier Captain America out there. Or sorry, Falcon. What's his name?
Sam Wilson.
Yeah, Captain Wilson. Captain Wilson.
Yeah.
Because it was cool that in the land they'd call him Captain Wilson versus
Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things of living up to your potential. Living like it's the thing that like if there was an e-ticket at opening, it was really meeting those characters. That was the real big appeal of being in that land. It was kind of a fun time, and it was kinetic energy. You know, it's
Yeah.
like when you were in Galaxy's Edge, you didn't have that. There was nothing really happening. You had audio, but there was no practical thing happening. And that was achieved by these characters. I do want to talk about, before we get into the last bit here, the Tomorrowland of DCA is really what this was, in a certain extent. Talking about technology, talking about how humans interact with technology. If there's any connection to California here, there was none with Pixar Pier, really. But if there's any connection, it's Silicon Valley.
Yeah, and you kind of see when you go to, it's supposed to be like this experimental area. It's the Avengers Los Angeles campus.
Yes.
Built around an old Stark facility, but also a hidden sanctum.
Yeah.
And they call
Oh, yeah.
and it was the Los Angeles Sanctum. So that's why I call it the Los Angeles Sanctum of Anaheim.
Yep.
Where there was a magic show.
Yeah. I never watched this.
Yeah, it's fine. It is literally a magic show, and Dormammu shows up. And America Chavez was there. Is that her
Yeah.
name?
To promote it. Yeah.
So
multiverse.
during the show, he'd open a portal and different characters would come out each time.
I believe it's Thor originally for the first
Yeah.
ones. Eventually, the Eternals would meet there too.
I forgot about the Eternals. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting. But when you go to Cars Land, there are signs up against the wall where Avengers Campus is that it's a radioactive area.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But then with the map of Avengers Campus, there's a Stark map. Have you seen this? I have one where Cars Land is a radioactive land.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, these weird alien cars. So Freddie, I want to know if you know this.
Yeah.
Did you know, it's called Avengers Campus. Did you know it's an acronym? I'm not doing a bit.
What is the acronym?
So it's, the stupid sign that looks like a directory?
Yeah.
Yeah. Never read it before a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Our world needs more heroes. This centralized assembly, mobilized to prepare, unite, and safeguard, was forged to bring heroes together. May this campus, guys, those are the words I just said, act as a beacon to inspire and empower a new generation of Earth's champions.
Yep.
Grow with the strongest, build with the brightest, unite as one team, Avengers assemble. So centralized assembly, mobilized to prepare, unite, and safeguard.
This is absolutely a joke because it's the same thing. It's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. makes that joke all the time. That's awesome.
It's on that sign that you walk
Man,
right
it's been
past.
so long since I read that. I just don't remember.
No, I was standing there and I'm like, Kimmy,
It's an acronym.
it's an ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I just needed everyone to know that.
Good. Yeah. That's Avengers Campus as it stands.
Sorry, the magic show's gone now.
Yeah, Magic Show's gone.
and
I don't know what's going to happen to the area. Maybe it'll just be seating at this
The
point.
vault was originally nothing because it was
Yeah.
supposed to be an entrance to a ride, and now it's not going to be that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll bring that up.
And then for a minute, we had the Hulk.
Oh yeah, the Hulk.
The Hulk and his package
Big
that they
package.
shrunk later, which is crazy. But yeah, we had the giant exoskeleton
walk around
project thing.
Yeah.
And
And that was a fun few months.
yeah. So a lot of weird stuff has happened in Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
And you said it. Guardians was technically part of Avengers Campus.
So all the time I'd hear, "Where's the e-ticket?" I'm like, "Yeah, they opened it years ago. It's called Guardians of the Galaxy."
yeah, it's facing the other direction.
Yeah.
We're behind it.
Which, I mean, to be fair, when you're standing at the entrance of Avengers Campus and you see web slingers and you see Guardians, and all these buildings are just covered in like random pipes and doodads, there is some thematic consistency here.
It's
in
once
terms
you're
of
inside.
outlines. It's once you're inside that you just
It's once you're inside that you realize the bricks should not have been laid in straight lines because they become uneven very quickly in the shifting California dirt.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Last thing I want to mention, and this is like part of this whole thing, and it's really getting back to DCA 1.0 energy with a lot of this stuff. It's just broken promises. It's like, okay, so when they announced Avengers Campus, they announced an e-ticket attraction featuring a Quinjet. The idea being that you are going to fly out on a mission with the Avengers to Wakanda and go and battle an alien army. very much in line with Avengers Infinity War. Now, this idea and in concept art, guests are flying in individual jetpacks flying around.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
This was very much something that was overly ambitious, that people are like, how are you going to deliver on this? And when there were interviews and very little like leaks that came out, there's people are like, oh yeah, they're just doing Flight of Passage. That's just overlaid as Avengers. And all you imagine, oh no, we're not doing that. This is going to be something unique, something new. When I was working on project for Rise of the Resistance, they were talking about this e-ticket. They would even have people pulled into stuff about it. But there was a circumstance of just like, okay, what is this thing? Well, we need something to be the next Rise of the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance, as ambitious as Imagineering could be at the time. And if whatever we're pitching isn't as good as that, then we're not going to do it. What's the point? And lots of little leaks, little things came out over time with this project, but ultimately it faltered through. They just could not achieve what they were looking to do, especially with whatever ride system it was. I have heard so many different ideas from it just being a KUKA arm ride, which there is some sort of contract with KUKA, which is why we're getting Stark Flight Lab. We'll talk about it later.
KUKA arm is the Harry Potter system.
Yes, but they're a manufacturer.
Yeah.
They're a manufacturer of robotic arms for factories and stuff. So if Disney put up a contract intending to make a ride with them, got to fulfill that somehow. But anyway, there are I heard about giant vehicles with arms sticking out from the vehicle that would move through space. And like that being a weight issue in terms of like moving this lumbering thing through show sequences, all sorts of things. Regardless, a fun fact is that this was called Project Firebird because your Quinjet was going to get shot down and be on fire, and you would eject from your Quinjet and like paradrop down into Wakanda. Very cool ideas, but it was never to be. So when this land finally was opening and it seemed like kind of admittance that e-ticket's not happening, it just felt like something's missing. And we've been stuck living with that ever since.
Yeah, we've been staring at the freaking Quinjet, which in the ads for the ride would land. Not that I ever expected this jet to land in Avengers Campus, right? But the fact that it's like, hey, this thing, like you're going to experience this.
Yeah.
It's hinting at it.
It's even in the Web Slingers attraction. You have the Quinjet flying around in there. In fact, you go into the Avengers headquarters. That is eventually going to be the Quinjet ride. And it's funny because they kind of locked them into an architectural like look and decision. And now you look at what they're building and I'm like, that doesn't look like the Web Slingers ride.
They could just reprogram their Web Slingers
I
thing.
hope so.
Like, that's no problem.
Yeah.
A note about Web Slingers, it just takes you through all the different parts of Avengers Campus.
Cool idea.
Yeah.
Cool
like you're
idea.
like, oh, you're under the collector's warehouse right now. Like,
You're in the PIM laboratory.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
that's Avengers Campus.
Yeah, we didn't really get much out of it.
No.
But probably the best thing they did
out of these
is the shawarma cart.
Oh.
How awesome was that? When they announced it, we were like, this is pretty cool.
Yep. Man.
That was an artwork for the Avengers Campus episode. That was like one of my favorites. Shawarma Palace.
The cart. And they had two of them.
Yeah.
Two to meet demand.
Shawarma Palace 2.
Shawarma Palace 2.
But TOO.
Which is so New York. It's so perfect.
Yeah.
Man.
So we're still in the DCA now.
Yeah.
So let's head on over to San Francisco Square.
Yeah.
When this was announced, this was announced by Ken Potrock.
Announced by Ken Potrock, but also Damaro. This is a Damaro project.
Yeah, I mean, Ken Potrock was the one who was like, hey guys, look what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is also post Chapek, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
he's out by now. So this is you can actually like this is a Josh Damaro joint. This was under his tenure, like 100%. Like he saw this project.
The one thing that everyone was excited about.
Yeah.
Because one, we're bringing back the Golden Gate Bridge to DCA.
Woohoo!
Which in this series you should know by now. It was thematically consistent.
Mm-hmm.
It was an injection of IP that is like not super successful, but everyone likes it.
Yeah.
So that was cool. It was an injection of a little bit of like Japanese culture, which everyone loves, right? It
Man,
wasn't
the gyoza dog, like bringing that from Mysterious Island in Tokyo Disney Sea, and that was something you could get.
Yeah, and it didn't take anything away except our beloved beer truck, but they just moved it to an easier
That's honestly
location.
an interesting thing of like they didn't lose any capacity.
Yeah,
they just found ways to reimagine the space.
Yeah, and they gained capacity because that was an empty room for a while.
Yeah.
There's probably some sort of storage, just like everything is, right? But we got plussed, right? Pacific Wharf was emulating the tourist part of San Francisco anyway.
Yeah.
So we got our Golden Gate Bridge, which was a cool retheme and repaint. And we got rethemes of all the little restaurants, which did not have good names anyway.
No.
So we got, Lucky Fortune is still Lucky Fortune.
And
But-
Christina Cucamonga is still.
Yeah,
Christina
but we got
Cucamonga.
Aunt Cass's Cafe, which is cool.
Yes.
And the Cerveceria, which is also cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got extra things. We got an extra shop.
Yeah.
And
Which, I mean, that was kind of the main motivators. It's like Baymax is a character
yeah.
that everybody loves. Huge success as a meet and greet. So, like, let's give him a permanent location.
Yeah, we didn't fire Rita. We just changed the name of her store.
Man, it's those little details where you're just like, somebody actually cared here on this project.
Yeah, it's like this has been Rita's.
And they spent the money to put those little turbines up in the air.
Yeah, that power everything. They put no, that thing was part of the cannery.
Yeah.
But now it's like a electrical conduit. But yeah, they just kind of added on to everything. And it worked. And we're really cool. Yeah, the DCA 1.0 washed it away a little bit.
Yeah.
With the opening of San Francisco, we officially lost Pacific Wharf. So now that whole corridor is called the Performance Corridor.
Yeah, which is very odd of like, what is that?
They call it out now on things like find it along the Performance Corridor.
Yep.
But yeah, no
They
attraction.
got to call it festival something because it's the festival corridor.
But we got Baymax in there. You can meet him. I haven't seen him around in a while, but you can.
Yeah.
You can meet him.
The problem is he's expensive to repair and he pops pretty easily.
And we had Hiro for a second.
Yeah.
The first Disney employee to be able to wear a hoodie and cargo shorts to work.
Yeah, that's good. Was it something Kai, the villain?
Yokai.
Yokai
Yeah.
showed up for the next Oogie Boogie Bash after
and
this.
he was this year too, or this
Oh,
past
nice. Yeah.
one.
He
there
makes
is no
sense.
downside to it because they get an extra treat trail.
Yeah.
Mars Wrigley pays for.
Yeah.
I
do like the sound of
the sound
nanobots.
is cool. It's one guy, and they could just say we have it doesn't hurt it.
No.
And they literally can't put another character there.
No.
There are no more villains that could go there.
Yeah.
So it worked for music's a bit much sometimes.
I agree.
Ghirardelli worked,
Mhm.
right? They just added some Japanese, which made it cool.
Yeah.
The Boudin area with the Japanese.
They were willing to spend the money to like, yes, we're changing this into San Francisco, but we're not going to do it cheaply.
Yeah.
We're going to do it right.
Until they did, when they added banners of every character 1,000 times.
That's true.
And then had to roll it back because everyone was like, this is too much. They actually got rit of a lot of those.
We got to so much layering of detail.
And then this year, it got
too
a
much.
little bit of Christmas theming with the lights.
Yeah.
So overall, net positive.
Yep.
Honestly, the only thing we missed is like Pacific Wharf. It was like a silly DCA 1.0 thing. And the blue on the bridge used to be really nice. But that's
I
it.
do think that when you're walking on the pathway, you used to have a clear shot looking at the Mickey's Fun Wheel.
Yeah.
And now with the Golden Gate, there's a little bit of like, there's a lot going on now. But in general, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I do think that, it is for it to be a land is kind of funny because it's so small, no room for an attraction, even if they wanted to put one in. You still have the Baymax ride in Tokyo that is like insanely popular. If they were ever to do anything, it would be so easy for you to take the Little Mermaid area and just keep the San Francisco thing going across.
Yeah, but I think they're done with that. I think
I think they are done.
Yeah.
But that's San Francisco Square. Like, and it is one of those, like, you found something to do, you enhanced the area, you made everything better, the food quality all went up, attention to detail. And it was worth it. It was good. And it's still insanely popular today.
Yeah, and I wanna give a shout out to the Imagineers raiding Harbor Freight so they can glue all the tools to the wall in Hito's little area. Confirmed Harbor Freight caliper.
Wow.
Pittsburgh brand, all that kind of stuff. And because it's like a little maker space, inside of where Baymax comes out of, upside down, is the control panel from Flix Flyers.
That's cool.
You haven't seen that?
I haven't seen that.
It's
fun.
Flix Flyers will never die.
Man, I love Imagineers reusing stuff.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
it says Flix Flyers on it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Because the point is he's reusing all these little parts.
No
for stuff.
notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So San Francisco Square, we did like way later get the light up marquee thing.
Yeah, that took a little bit of
'cause
time, but it's so cool when that thing lights up on the water.
And what's funny is we call it San Francisco. The official name is San Francisco Square, but within San Francisco Square is like what we call it.
Yeah.
But within the lore, it is the port of San Francisco.
So this is the Oakland of San Francisco.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah. So
That's why they have the football team there.
what? Oh, right. That
Because there's a sports
you
theme.
could buy the hat.
Yeah, you can buy the hat. So you have the samurai, the San Francisco Samurais. You have their baseball team as well as their. That's. I'm like, oh, it is Oakland.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, well, I mean,
San Francisco Coliseum.
yeah, no more team for Oakland
No.
in any way. I'm sorry, Oakland.
I'm so
You
sorry.
deserve better.
Yeah, they do.
So, that is the end of DCA now.
Yeah.
But in a way, this is DCA forever because we got a lot coming up.
Yeah, we do.
So,
But you know, let's just run through these real quick. But like the current state of the park of California Adventure, as we stand today, looking at 25 years old, I think it's doing okay for itself. I think that it's lost its soul a bit, for sure. But I do think that overall you can find bright spots, and I think that in terms of enjoyment, there's a lot to love about the space.
this is the thing about being like dorks about Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
Versus just being people who enjoy things. There is a lot to do in DCA now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing. But like zooming out and trying to appreciate it or see it as a vision, that's gone. But they don't really care about that.
No.
Because everything they have does work. And for a minute, they cared about it all working together. But I think they realized the average person does not care.
No.
Like the average person is not, why is Avengers Campus here? There's like, oh, cool, the Avengers are here.
Yeah.
Like we didn't even talk about Robot Spider-Man.
No, we didn't. Wow, yeah.
I think that was supposed to be a media thing, right? And then
it was just meant to be temporary, and they figured out we can actually make this work long term,
Yeah.
and it's still running today, which is insane.
Yeah, and they added more shows.
Yeah,
They shortened the actors show so they could launch the robot more times. And I just love thinking of the visual of every day there's an employee who needs to strip down the robot and make sure he's okay. But yeah, I forgot to give that shout out.
there's just a
It is
pile
actually
of dead
spectacular.
Spider-Man back there.
Yeah, it's spectacular. And I do love that they did build in a failsafe.
Yeah.
When he is about to hit the building, he asks for airbags. And what's her name?
Oh,
It's not Karen.
no.
It's a different one.
It's a different one.
She has
Shoot.
it's like something like Sunshine or something, right? It's like Avengers.
It's the Irish voice, right?
No. It's the
Oh no, you're right.
what's her name? Friday? No, not Friday.
No, it's not Friday. Friday is the.
Is
Irish
it Karen?
I think it is. It might be Karen.
AI
Avengers
name
Campus.
voice. I don't know. Like it is Friday. She's digital database for the students of the Superhero Academy.
Mm.
Oh, Sharon. Friday's in the movie,
Yep.
and then Sharon is Avengers Campus in California specifically.
Yep.
Okay, that is also an acronym.
God.
Do you want to guess what Sharon stands for?
No. How could I guess?
What's What's funny is it doesn't actually
Tell you what it is.
Sharon is a technology, chill personality,
Humana.
yellow hexagon.
Yeah.
They
She gets her own giant billboard in Paris. The side of the whole Avengers building is this giant light up panel that lights up like she's Siri at scale.
maybe it's on the screen.
Nope, that's all
We'll
right.
never know.
It stands for something.
Okay, I did want to. My actual favorite thing.
Yeah.
The janitors wear Department of Damage Control costumes.
Yes.
So shout out to Custodial. In one of the stankiest bathrooms of DCA.
So bad.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So-
Last thing here. DCA 25. Is the California gone from the park? Will the name ever change? This is always brought up over and over again. People saying it should. People saying it shouldn't. People saying it should change, and then having no idea what it would change to.
Okay. DCA should have stuck to the theme of California because that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's no actual reason for it to be that way. There's no importance here
No.
to celebrating California culturally because it's a theme park.
Yeah.
It's not an amusement park. They already got rid of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going away. However, modern people didn't really know that was the point anyway.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they will change the name because one, that's expensive.
Yeah.
And two, the name works. It's Disney California Adventure Park because it is a Disney park that is an adventure inside of California.
Mhm.
Like the address is in California.
Yeah.
And that's good enough. They have enough lore in there. They're not getting rid of Hollywoodland for some reason.
That's
which we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Avengers Campus is in Los Angeles, which makes no sense.
Sure.
What is it? The pier is Santa
Barb? No.
No, the other one up top. Not Santa Clara.
We talked about this last week.
Not Santa Clarita. Not Santa Maria? No. Santa. Hold on.
We're looking up a lot of stuff, folks. Sorry about that.
Piers in California.
The big one.
No, not Santa Monica. Don't say it, guys.
No.
Not San Clemente. Not. Well, we got a lot of piers, huh?
Yeah, we do.
It's a boardwalk. It's the boardwalk.
Yeah. There's a famous one. It's NorCal.
That we've never been to because I don't care. Piers are on board. Come on, man. What is the famous pier in California? It's not Santa Monica.
It's the only one people know. That's the only one that the AI knows about.
Yeah. With amusement park. Let's see. Santa Monica. Oh my God.
But while you
they're all just gonna write in.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that California Adventure has developed its own identity in terms of what people think about it here as locals, which were like the number one visitors here.
Santa Cruz.
Hey, there we go. We got there eventually.
Never would have guessed that.
But it's a circumstance of like California Adventure is a feeling, a vibe. There's a laid backness to the park, overall casual, like versus Disneyland. The identity is very different. It's very carefree. It's very fun. It's very fast and loose. And it works that way.
And there's beer.
Yeah, there's alcohol.
Beer like California. Like,
oh yeah.
It's I know everyone drinks beer, but like local breweries are real big at DCA.
Huge.
They're big on Bottle Logic, Brewery X, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, Anaheim is a wasteland of beer. So many breweries. Yeah. But it's a circumstance of like, I think that has created an identity for itself that is identifiable, whether it means anything or not. DCA as an acronym, Disney California Adventure, people go there because they know what it is. They know what the vibe they're getting into, and that's the most important part. So even if the theme is not the important thing, the vibe of the park is set and works and functions.
If Hollywood Studios is still called that, there's no reason to change California Adventure.
And they trust me, Disney tried.
Yeah, because like the studio thing is gone.
Yeah.
There is a Sunset Boulevard there, right? And then there's Andy's thing and Galaxy's Edge. and probably some other thing I don't know about because who cares? And it's named after Hollywood, which is in California.
Yeah.
Our thing is named after the state that it's in. So that's fine, right? Disneyland is like big on like, yeah, we are in Anaheim, California. Come to California. And they already called the French one Adventure World. So they like the word adventure.
They do.
It's not going
If you're
anywhere.
going to have a second gate to a park, it might as well be something adventure.
Yeah, there's no point in changing the name for them. There's nothing to gain because it would sound like some dumb rebrand. Like they get to say, even though they dropped the hyphen, that's more of a company-wide thing. They just get to say like they have the heritage of this park. In this land, it's always been this, and that's fine. Right? So we'll keep the name, and it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's all you can really say about it.
And people call it. People know the name of the park.
You do.
Don't want to change that.
No.
People call it DCA. They call it California Adventure.
Hey, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends at DCA. Want to get a few drinks? Like
Or-
it's a thing.
Or the old Nintendo thing. My parents, and my mom knows the name because she listens to Trammin, but my dad and others call it California Disney, which is like, yes, that's what you want. You want everyone to know exactly what that park is. It's not changing.
No.
I'd bet money on it.
I agree. Oh, we can do that actually.
I had to block Kalshi on Instagram.
Oh, thank God.
That should be illegal.
It so should be.
All right.
Anyway, but as much as we've talked about the failings and kind of the downward, we're moving back down. We were up here, guys. We were moving the right direction. We had locked in. And now we're down here. Okay. What does the future hold? What can we do here? And this is very much, it's time for us to fix what we've done. It's time for us to finish what we started, go all the way, and fully build out this park. This isn't some, blue sky concept on, Twitter or whatever. Some guy's coming up with an idea or whatever it is. No, this is what's happening. This is our goal. This is what we're set to. We're doing it in the next 5 years. So let's start with the Avengers Campus Expansion, or ACE, as it's known. It was a literal thing that was on web pages. Is ACE is happening. The Avengers Campus Expansion. And first off, we're going to be getting an actual e-ticket, the thing that we were promised, the Avengers Infinity Defense attraction.
Or is King Thanos
Aid.
still reigning?
As far as we know, King Thanos is still a thing. I thought it was funny when they announced it and Chapek was still there and Chapek had grown a beard and King Thanos had a beard.
Yep.
And I was like, somebody was clever.
Yeah.
We have a villain and he's here with us now. I would not be surprised if this did get switched out to Doctor Doom.
Right.
If I was working at Marvel, I would totally do that. I don't think that it is I don't
Do you
think that
think they'll pay Robert Downey Jr. this time?
they already did. Robert Downey Jr. is locked in for Avengers Campus. They actually made an announcement with Iger and him sitting on a test vehicle for Stark Flight Lab. Robert Downey Jr. will be narrating and doing voice work for the Stark Flight Lab ride, as well as the Avengers Infinity Defense attraction.
Right.
Which I'm like, Iron Man animatronic in the queue is probably happening. Like, there's no way you don't do that.
So there's a thing, though. The infamous Robert Downey Jr. problem with Marvel. You notice how you always see Iron Man on the posters?
Yeah.
Or on merch?
Mm-hmm.
He owns the face rights.
Yeah.
To Tony Stark.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't make Tony Stark merch or open helmet Iron Man without Robert Downey Jr. getting money.
I think they'll have helmeted Iron Man as an animatronic, but I'm sure you will see his face in the queue on video and stuff. As
Video. Well, they just it's them
easy enough.
selling merch and stuff or
Yeah.
giving it away is a different thing.
No, I agree. I think that's totally doable, but I think it's fascinating because then he would play Iron Man and he'd be playing the villain Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
But I think that's entirely possible. They could stick to their guns because I do think that the King Thanos idea, it plays into already people know who Thanos is. Like the general public, because Avengers Endgame was huge. And do you really want to place a bet on Doctor Doom when you don't know what that movie's outcome is going to be? And this ride's already in development and you're already filming scenes for this ride. I don't know if they've already filmed the moments for this attraction or not. It could be shot now or it could be shot with Secret Wars. It could be both. This attraction when
when is Secret Wars?
They were supposed to start filming that this year. That Secret Wars comes out in 2 years.
When does Doomsday come out?
this year, 2026. So 2028 is supposed to be Secret Wars.
Is Secret Wars also Doctor Doom?
Yes. Because Secret Wars in the comics...
that's not spoiler for people.
Yeah.
Some people don't know.
Sure.
So
they don't want to.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, Doctor Doom is the big bad for the next 2 to 3 Avengers movies. If they split the last one in 3, which is the rumor now too. It's a big story, honestly. Sometimes these stories on comics, it was a status quo for a full year. Is this is the status quo.
Freddie, do you know about the comics or did you read the comics?
I didn't read the comics, but I know the story.
Okay.
I'm
just curious. I'm like, I don't see you as the comic book guy. So
sometimes I don't have the time to sit down here and wait month after month for this thing. Just give me the story on a platter. Give it to me in a podcast. Tell me the story. I know what it is now. Cool. Got it. But anyway, Avengers Infinity Defense, it is going to be a giant dark ride attraction using a motion base. Not not too dissimilar from something like Indiana Jones, but this is literally going to use the ride system, pretty much from the Tokyo Disney attraction, Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure. So for those who get to experience that, you've pretty much experienced what Avengers Infinity Defense is. But I would say in terms of the feeling of it, you have a Peter Pan Neverland journey. You're flying around. This is going to be an action sequence, so I'm sure they can take that same simulator and it can be a little rougher, a little bit more intense. Yes, it's still going to be a family attraction, but in the same vein as Rise of the Resistance. So think that similar level of thrill, if not more, because it's not trackless. You can pivot, you can, feel things when, the vehicle gets punched or something gets shot at you. It'll just be cool to see how all that works out.
Yeah. And with D23 a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
whatever.
Year and a half ago, because we have one this year, but year and a half ago is when this guy.
Surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
Yeah.
An actual expansion to the land with an amazing animation that they showed.
When the walls pull back.
And a second ride. Now there are 2 of them. Stark Flight Lab, like you mentioned, the little thing throwing you around. It's like a modern, thrilling, what do they call it? Like a flat ground spinner.
Yeah.
But it's not a spinner.
I mean, they've had these at Legoland, for example.
Yeah.
Other amusement parks have had these Kuka arm spinning attractions. The difference being that this one is going to have a track around it. So guests can be loading while guests are experiencing it, meaning you can dramatically increase your capacity for what is essentially a spinner. That's actually really big. That means that you're essentially using a small footprint and able to fit twice as many guests in there.
I wonder where the heck the queue is going to go.
It's going to snake around the outside. It's going to be minimal. It's not going to be much, but it's a good idea in general. Again, possibly Kuka arms that were eventually were supposed to be used on the original version of the attraction, but that has been disputed by some people. So maybe that's not the case. But either way, cool.
And just an interesting tidbit. Adding this just helps the fact that the Disneyland Resort with 2 parks has more, not just attractions, rides.
Yeah.
Than all of Walt Disney World.
That's so true.
By a good margin, 7 or something.
But it's one of those things. If you think Avengers Campus is going to go from 2 rides to 4 rides.
Yeah.
That's a lot of rides for a land. That's good.
You're kind of bringing back the quantity of Bugs Line.
Yeah.
With much higher quality.
Quality and capacity.
Listen, as much as Web Slingers is lame, it's better than any ride in Bugs Line. I know the other ones were cuter, but better.
Yep.
And Flix Flyers was not lost. It was moved. Even though we lost Malibu.
Yep.
Back and forth we can go.
But, yeah. And Stark Flight Lab will still be thrilling. I'm sure that, I don't know if they're going to flip you upside down, but they tend to do that on those rides. So I don't know how many kids are going to be excited about seeing that, but it'll be fun.
The big thing though is that the kids will be able to see it. When kids can see it, they can convince themselves that they're down.
Yeah.
Because I was recently on I still call it Tower of Terror, not as a jerk. It's just an easier name. She was scared, but kept asking her dad for reassurance, which is when you know that the kid's fine with it. They just want you to tell them that they're fine. And then she was laughing the whole time and saying how awesome it was at the end. Yep. But the point is, you get in an elevator shaft and you don't know what's going to happen. But if you could see it from the outside, you might be scared the first time, but you'll go, I'm going to do it this time because I saw what my brother did or whatever.
Yeah. And this is under construction right now. It is happening. You can see it. You can see it from Cars Land, which is kind of weird.
You can't get to Cars Land because of it.
No, yeah, and they're adding more restrooms as part of this expansion.
Thank God.
It's necessary, guys. But essentially, that corner of California Adventure that is right, it used to be a giant parking lot for forever, is now fully built out. They're pushing it all the way back. We're getting this giant show building. Really, the hopes is that this can deliver, both in scale and theme. Yes, based off of everything, it's going to be very media heavy, very projection heavy. But I still think that you can deliver on a good experience. I personally enjoy Transformers. I think it shakes you around a little bit too much, and the 3D can make you sick. So hopefully it's not that. But I do think that in terms of scale and bring you into these worlds of Marvel, you got a lot of potential there. And they've talked about even wilder ideas such as randomization of like, imagine you go on this ride and every time you go on it, you're going to have different heroes and villains fighting each other.
Yeah.
Like we can take the same set piece and just put different pieces of media in because we shot a different person on a green screen. That would be very cool. Ups the re-rideability, really adds that cameo factor of who are we going to get? Oh my God, it's the X-Men.
Yeah, they own it all now.
They own it all.
But now,
and being able to showcase that, it's a multiverse ride. We
Yeah.
can do that.
but now, instead of a different universe, let's head into another world.
Yes.
The Underworld. Coco.
Woohoo.
Coming to DCA. Boat ride, similar to Haunted Mansion, Pirates, probably a little bit the other one, Navi River Journey.
River
Shout out to
Journey.
River and James. Part of Pixar Pier. I think
Question
so.
mark?
I think
Yeah.
so because it's just right outside there.
Yeah, the concept art illustrates it slightly outside and a little bit more thematically consistent and detailed than Pixar Pier. So I think that's cool.
Yeah,
But yeah,
a little
technically it's
disappointed. It
Pixar.
didn't go through the promenade, which just looks like an old church, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
But I think they wanted it to feel like we have a mini area that celebrates this film
Yeah.
and celebrates Hispanic culture and heritage. And I think that that's smart. Now, the big thing is that this is going to be behind Incredicoaster. Construction has started. They have started or taking out everything from the old warehouse buildings back there. There used to be all the ODV carts, all the little carts you see in the park. That's where they would get all their stuff from. It's back there. So now they have to move that.
And did they announce the Frightfully Fun Parade is gone already? I swear I heard that.
No, I don't know if they did or not.
But it is likely DCA will no longer have parades
Yeah.
because the parade building is gone.
Yep. They do technically have another warehouse that's on the left side of the Incredicoaster or of Pixar Pier. So I believe that was the older warehouse or something like that. So it's possible that they come back, but it's unlikely at this point just based off of that. And ultimately you're using the festival pathway anyway. You might as well just have permanent food kiosks out there at this point and just run it like that. But yeah, I'm really excited about this.
Scheduled to return fall 2026.
Hey, see, there you go. Interesting. Interesting now.
They had to type the 6. So
they are doing a lot of rerouting on the backstage pathways because that's what you see with the construction that's going on right over there on the edge of California Adventure.
Right.
Got to push it all the way out to the street. So you still have to have a backstage pathway that's going to connect around. But now we got to make room for the show building. And there's only so big that it can be, at least as a single story attraction. So I do think that the Navi River Journey comparison, also a comparison to another attraction that capacity wise would be pretty similar. The Tangled boat ride in Tokyo. This is a boat ride with one large show sequence, 2 small show sequences, and a load area. That's it. That's all you got.
That will be the first ride we're doing in Disney Sea. Kimmy specifically requested it.
I mean, I think anybody who's a fan of that is absolutely, I mean,
Scheduled 15 minutes later is the Frozen ride. It's just, I'm like, you don't want to
That's
do
good.
Frozen first? She goes, no, I want to do Tangled first. Like, all right, okay.
that's actually the right thing to do. Otherwise, you'd probably be disappointed with Tangled.
Yeah, maybe.
The Frozen ride is arguably, as people have said, it's the best ride in Tokyo right now. It's either the Frozen ride or the Beauty and the
Yeah, and
Beast
like
attraction.
in a 1 hour thing, we have just Fantasy Springs all scheduled out already.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I
So
love that.
but
I would say, again, like it's going to be a smaller boat ride. Yes, during D23, they said comparisons to Haunted Mansion, comparisons to Pirates. And that's in terms of we're going to have a very large show sequence with a lot of animatronics. But I would not anticipate this to be like a super long, dramatic attraction. I think that this is going to be a vibe ride. You're going to go on a boat. You're going to go to the underworld. You're going to watch Miguel and his ancestors play music, and celebrate life. And then you're going to come back, and that's it. And that's okay.
This is the going to be the first boat in DCA. That isn't the SS Rustworthy, of course.
Yeah, that's honestly
you're,
crazy.
you're in a raft of Grizzly River Run, which I think
Yeah.
we totally forgot once when talking about there are no
Boats.
water rides in DCA. But there are no like boat rides.
In Passing Say, there are no boat rides in Passing Say.
But this will be like the first like classic little boat ride,
Yeah.
which Disneyland has 2. Well, and Splash Mountain, I guess.
Yeah.
So 3-ish.
But yeah, and you're thinking of like both of these. Okay, Avengers Campus, indoor. Even the spinner is shaded.
yeah, we don't have
And
too much
roofed.
of this in DCA. So
No,
it's
it's
a big
too
deal.
much sun. There's not enough indoor
Yeah.
things to do. Cool. There's already 3 things.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. But yeah, and another thing to note, this is on the edge of the resort. If there's ever going to be a pathway out to the Simba parking lot for the future, you'd see it in this land with like a big backstage gate. Like this would be your portal to another world.
Well, moving forward, we have
Avatar. Dun dun. I'm wearing the shirt. I'm wearing the shirt.
he's wearing the shirt. This
Yeah,
guy,
we got the Ekrons. They're flying.
Listen,
Get on your space dragon.
what do they say? What do they say?
Sivako.
I've heard that means BO in Spanish.
Jeez.
Just want to throw that out there. Let me know.
All right. Avatar at California Adventure. This was originally announced as a quote unquote experience coming to California Adventure on a shareholder call. Bob Iger totally jumped the gun on this announcement.
Yeah, where Jeff and I were like, this is totally going to be in stage 17.
Yes.
And I think for a minute it was going to be.
This was absolutely even, I believe Alicia Stella said that she had heard that this was going to be a walkthrough experience. They had already tested one in Singapore with a animatronic Banshee or a puppeteered Banshee or Ikran. So it's like this, they already were moving in that direction. We're just going to show off how cool this world is. Marketing for Avatar Fire and Ash, semi-permanent attraction a la like Launch Bay in California Adventure. That's what it's going to be. It was only after Bob Iger went on the shareholders meeting or call, and he said, "Hey, we're going to do an experience," that everyone immediately jumped to. We're getting another Pandora, aren't we? Another land, another world of Avatar, just like at Animal Kingdom. That's going to be great. Where is it going to go? They didn't even announce it for California Adventure. For all we know, this could have been a new attraction in Tomorrowland.
But they eventually announced it.
They eventually did announce it and revealed it to be, it's coming to California Adventure. And here's this vast land with waterways, and everything is based off of The Way of Water, the second Avatar film that made over $2 billion. And, okay, cool. We're going to have a giant attraction, a huge boat ride that's going to take you through the world of Pandora. We're going to meet some Tolkien, some giant space whales. We're going to go through, we're going to see the beauty, and we're going to see the dangers of Pandora, of natural alien wildlife. Very exciting. Very cool for somebody like me who
Yeah, I don't know what
doesn't
Freddie's talking about right now. But unfortunately, this was almost immediately scaled down
Yes.
to fit in the Hollywood backlot, which is past the La Cienega building.
Yep.
Which is to the left of Fairfax Market.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody knows what any of these words are. So this is like that little stage in the back of Hollywoodland. That is going to be where the Avatar land is.
Yep. It's just going to be in there somehow.
And it's only going to possibly go out to the monorail. Because past the monorail
So
is an admin building, right?
Yes.
Which is in the artwork as staying there. They're just going to put some LEDs on it.
So originally it looked like they were going to keep the old food court building and they would repurpose that into a military base food court like they did in Animal Kingdom. Like it's built out like that, but they would just be able to repurpose a building that already has kitchen space. But when it got scaled down, this might not even the monorail. It might be for you to go to Pandora. You're going to go underneath the monorail. It's that far back. It's that small.
We're going to get one ride.
It's going to be one attraction.
And we're probably never going to get another ride.
Maybe a food kiosk, maybe something. But it's like there's not enough room for you to fit the ambition that they were talking about here. The size. Because when they initially announced this, it looked like Shanghai Pirates of the Caribbean, a massive attraction, world class, something that people have said is like, that's the only thing to go to Shanghai for, is like that's worth it. Highlighted the Imagineering story, huge thing. But because it's scaled back, I think that this is more comparable to the Frozen attraction that they have in Tokyo. Making this, and we'll talk about this in a moment, the third Tokyo Disney Fantasy Springs attraction to be coming to California Adventure.
I just don't get why you'd spend all this money and then still keep Hollywoodland and the Hyperion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's crazy to me is they clearly don't want a new show for whatever reason.
Whoever doesn't want a new show is also the person who doesn't want to get rid of a giant capacity theater. Like, it's a double-edged sword of like, I don't want to put people in there, but I also don't want to get rid of the space that I can put people into.
But this is like hoarder mentality. I might use it in the future.
Yeah.
But it's like this is what a pull here. There is a Bass Pro Shop in Tustin or Irvine?
Yeah, Irvine.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
The Irvine company owns that building.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not been inside this Bass Pro Shop, but I've heard it's not even worth it because it's not themed, because it needed to fit in an old Walmart.
Yeah.
And the Irvine company said, maybe one day you guys won't be here anymore, so it needs to look boring just in case we need to turn it back into a Walmart. Which is also why fast food restaurants are rectangles now, because you could just put a Wendy's logo on a McDonald's and take the arch out.
Yeah.
So it's this dumb mentality of like, oh, just leave the thing. We might use the thing. And it's like, people don't care about Avatar. Okay, they do and they don't, right? But the way Avatar wins people over is when they walk into a Pandora.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, this is going to be the size of like, not even Toontown, maybe.
Yeah. The thing that works about Avatar is the vibe, the feeling of it, just experiential. It's an experiential place. The sounds, the smells, the animals, this whole thing. The story does not matter.
The problem is like with that artwork, knowing this where they have what is going outside, we're gonna get some forced perspective BS that doesn't work. Like,
it'll be too small for it to
like
work,
painting Sleeping Beauty Castle 2 different pinks, but you could clearly see that they just painted it 2 different pinks.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, higher up, the pink is lighter. And it's like, no, that's just the
2 different pinks.
That's the second layer.
Yeah. So I think it'll be interesting to see if the ambition changes at all, considering the fact that Avatar Fire and Ash came out and only made $1.4 billion.
And that James Cameron said he might just do a book.
Yeah, there's been a few. Well, he said he was going to do a press conference, and then it made over $1 billion. And then he's like, "Well, I just have to find a way to make these cheaper and faster, because that's the problem. Is these movies are just too long and take too much money to make." But it still made money. It still did. It still made profit. Just less than the previous ones. The previous ones had, done 4 times whatever they cost. This one's only did double,
I think Disney's advantage here is they haven't done anything yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think that we're going to get it. We're still going to get Pandora. We're still going to get an Avatar attraction. But I do think that it's going to stay at its scaled down. Single attraction, small space. That's it.
I'd rather have an Avatar land that just takes over Hollywoodland.
Yeah.
Than them deciding to do something else. I wonder, are they saving Hollywoodland for Avengers Campus? Are they like, will Marvel come back around?
It's possible that it's that. It's also possible that they want a neutral merger land between Avengers and Pandora, that these areas don't clash into each other.
But they have the stupid wall. That's it.
I know.
Do the stupid wall.
It's also early enough that this could very much be a reversing course situation that does get, regardless of the IP and stuff, we are committed enough into knowing that Pandora, the World of Avatar, and Animal Kingdom is a success. The merch sells. The ride's amazing. It works. Actually, no, we're not doing just one ride. We're doing 2 rides. We're going to put Flight of Passage here too.
In the Hyperion.
Yeah, demo, and then there you go.
So we can have 2 Sorens.
Absolutely. Why not?
Yeah.
Even more indoor attractions at California Adventure, which we don't have enough of. But like that's, as we mentioned earlier at the top of the hour, Josh D'Amaro taking over. Who knows what these things are going to end up being? But I would bet more investment rather than less, because it feels like everything got scaled back a little bit more recently. As much as they announced it, D23, they announced stuff. Feels like it's a little bit hesitant. Let's see how things go. I think they're going to go all the way because they know every dollar you spend, you're going to make it back. Lightning Lane sales, merchandise sales, food sales.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Avatar. They said Monsters, Inc. is closing early this year and then did not confirm. And then the Plan Disney forum, which does actually, it is official communication, said there is no date yet. So go enjoy it. They do still say soon.
And they started doing buttons in the last week.
Oh, for the anniversary?
For the anniversary, but it was very much get these because it's going away.
Yeah.
I do think that this is going to close sooner rather than later. And I think the art bus situation is also helping that they're going to go into that. They want to be under construction. Like before the e-ticket for Avengers Campus opens, before that expansion opens, they will already be under construction for Avatar and Coco well underway. Three things, all going crazy.
They will not have anything slightly cogent for the Olympics.
No. Oh, I think
the walls will be up.
The Avengers e-ticket.
Oh, no. Yes. Avengers will be open.
Coco probably won't.
Yeah, but I'm saying Avatar, absolutely not.
Absolutely. Avatar is like 2030.
I think they thought about it and then realized we don't even know what we want to do.
That's the thing, is if they commit and they go big, they got to start now.
I think, they should have big capacity. Like the thing with Hollywoodland, it's theoretical capacity, but it's empty and no one's ever there.
Yeah.
So
give them a reason.
Yeah. Give them a reason.
But in summary, after all of this that we've talked about, California Adventure will be fully built out. There will be nowhere left to go.
Yeah. So Will from Ohio says, what do you think the future of DCA looks like? Will they keep things fresh using the space they have? Do you think they'll try to expand in unused areas? Are there any going to be available? Do you think they more or less won't touch this for 25 years now? The weird thing is, let me start with the 25-year thing so we can go to the real future in a second. You think that, and then they still find ways to change stuff just because they want to. Because you got to have the new thing.
Overlays, seasonal events.
Yeah, like we're getting the new Soarin' or whatever, right? Yeah. We could get we've talked about before, like the Grizzly River Run retheme.
I was about to bring that up,
and who knows? You could retheme the Incredicoaster. They won't, but you can get weird stuff like that because it's just may as well. I think the one weird thing that's there to say is Toy Story, because Toy Story is so it's like Cars.
Yeah.
The new kids are born and get obsessed with this thing. So you just leave it. You definitely just leave it.
Will they upgrade the visuals? Probably, because that's cheap to do. But that's it. That's all you ever have to do. But yeah, California Adventure, I do think that you're only going to have expanding Pixar Pier here and doing a little thing here and a little ride overlay and a little but that's it. Once you've built all this out, you're not going to get any more big attractions coming to
there is no
Adventure.
more room until they convince Anaheim to give them a street.
Yeah.
And then theoretically, if you take that street, you get everything behind the street. You get the other side.
But I don't think you'll even need that because you'll be moving on to the third park.
Yeah. It's either third park or the theoretical, totally
Simba,
not real Disneyland forward concept art mixed use bridge thing.
Yeah. I don't think that those are happening, by the way. I am fully committed to third gate on Toy Story lot. You're not. The Simba, those parking lots will eventually become resorts, but they will not become theme park.
I think it's too complicated for them.
Yeah.
And they just did I was telling Will in the Discord, I'm not throwing you on the bus or anything, dude. It's that to people not in California at all, even though they were clear about Disneyland Forward being oh, this is a zoning thing and this is some concept art. The people who live here and people who know people in Anaheim are oh, they have little tents up at the street fair telling you to sign a petition to say, can you change the zoning laws? That's all it was. Technically, Disneyland Forward is done, right? The Disneyland Forward project was to approve mixed-use zoning. Yep. That project is completed. They might still have the thing up and say it's about the future of the resort and changing things, but the campaign is over.
Disney can do whatever they want with the land that they have.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. It was just to convince them, hey, we're going to invest, we're going to do this. Whether they invested or not.
The one thing that was committed was $2 billion in the first 10 years.
Yeah.
1.9
which is
billion.
absolutely happening even with just these expansions alone. That's California Adventure. I mean, I think we both enjoy this park. We have things we love and we have things that we are concerned about, or that could be better. And my belief is based off of everything they've announced that it's moving in the right direction. Even if thematically it's going to stay inconsistent, I think that the substance that's there is just going to be more things to enjoy.
It's the difference of Disneyland being a little diorama, cute theme park full of magic, and this is just a park with a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
And sadly, that's what it is, but I kind of think that's what theme parks are going to be in the future.
Yep.
It's a bunch of immersive or semi-immersive spaces.
You just have to look at Epic Universe to see the same thing.
Yeah. Where it's like maybe we have a cohesive land in the middle.
Yeah. And then we don't even deliver on that.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm gonna get to experience that in a week and find out, and I'll be able to tell you.
But then that's just the state of themed entertainment these days. It's you want to step into the world, which has always kind of been the dream anyway.
It has.
So
even from the very beginning.
Yeah. DCA, a good 25 years.
Here's to you.
Happy birthday, old friend.
Oh, yes.
So that is our final Eureka topic of the week.
And if this is your final stop,
thanks for tramming over California with us today. And if not, it's time for We Have It So Good, where we in the Tram talk about what makes our Disney trip so special. Send us your highlight of the trip, something new you tried, or a food review on trammin.com/ask. You got some food to review, Freddie?
Oh, boy. All right. So for Anna's birthday, we decided
Anna's 33rd birthday.
We decided, there's no better place to celebrate that than Club 33, where we did take our my siblings with us, and we also invited you and Kimmy along to enjoy that experience. And so we had dinner at Club 33, which is a wonderful time, a wonderful treat. We had it later in the evening, dining around 8 p.m., which allowed us to watch Fantasmic twice out the window. We were perfectly, there's one table that can be built right there in front of the giant window that's in the middle of the grand salon. And we've gotten that table consistently now, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Because you get the best view to the point that other guests are like, the show's happening, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to try and look over you guys, which I'm like, great, perfect. It couldn't be better for us. But yeah, we had amazing time. What did you have to eat?
So, great experience walking in. A little disappointed I didn't get my tea, but that's okay. Small complaints. So yeah, we headed up and sat down, took a look, and I'm like, the waiter goes around, asks everyone what they want. I'm like, I'm tempted by the caviar. And he goes, sir, that's an additional charge. So that's okay. And then Anna goes, is he going to do it? And I'm like, I'll have the caviar.
Yeah.
So just like Chipotle guac, it's an extra $175. But I did go for it. It's a golden Osetra caviar. I believe the brand is Artisan Caviar. That's what this says on here. Golden Osetra, farmed Osetra sturgeon, product of Greece. Okay, let's see. Packed exclusively for Fog City Trading Company. Trading Company. Yeah. This came with the usual fixins, which are the little butter pancakes. I forgot what they're called. It's like a blintz, I think. A little like salted crema kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then green onions / chives, and then like red onion and tomato. I did not touch those two things. Not just because I don't like onions, but because caviar is such a light flavor that onion would completely kill it. So I had it. It was absolutely delightful. Absolutely wonderful.
Little appetizer.
Kimmy did try it. And she was like, oh, it's just a little salty.
Yeah.
I go, cool. I gave you a little bite.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was good. It was a delight.
Little delight.
It was a delight.
I would never have experienced that unless you had ordered it, and that was wonderful.
I really almost didn't, but I'm like, fine.
Just having said that you've done it. I've had a caviar at Club 33.
I did it. What better place? And I had that
Pinkies out, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, washed it down with a Pim's cup.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good.
Man.
So good. So I started with that. It was wonderful. You know what's funny? I didn't actually get any bread. It never made itself
Interesting.
to my way. But also, this was like a little bowl of bread.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I ordered the bone marrow as the appetizer or the first course, and that came with the same bread. So that's okay. Bone marrow was okay.
Yeah.
I've had better bone
And this
marrow.
is the second course, by the way.
Yeah. So, Freddie, give us your first.
Yeah, absolutely. So
courses.
first course, I went with the Pacific white shrimp, which these shrimp were huge.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Excellent. Wonderful. Yeah, I love, it's just, you get these little things. They're just delightfully presented.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's the portion sizes that you're just like, just as you finish, just as you're hungry for the next thing, the next course arrives.
Yeah.
And you put all these orders in at once. And so also put in for the pot pie, which was excellent, if not a little too hot for the moment. I had to wait a
Is
moment
that the
for
little
that to cool
mushroom
down.
thing?
Yes, I believe.
Yeah.
Let's
It had
see
mushrooms
here.
in it.
Cheddar biscuits, thyme essence.
Yeah.
Oh yes, mushroom forager mushroom pie.
Yeah, Kimmy got that. It was okay, but it was funny.
fine.
She doesn't eat mushrooms really, but does in Club 33 because last time she got the fried mushrooms.
Mhm.
She got the Parmesan arancini. I thought it was
Mm.
okay. And then
And then for our main entree, if you want to go first.
so I got the rack of lamb. I was between that and there was a risotto with truffle, which I love, but I'm like, it's a vegetarian option. Forget that.
Yep.
I already did fish over there, so they don't want fish. So I got the lamb. It was actually pretty good. And nice and light, medium rare. It is nice that like there's so he's like, how would you like that cooked? I'm like, how is it prepared? And he goes, medium rare. I'm like, sounds good. Because some places you'll go and they're like, however you want. I'm like, no, man, I know the chef says that there's a best way to cook this one.
Yeah.
Just give me that one. You guys all,
For the most part, we all got the American Wagyu eye of ribeye.
so I think the flavor was good, but I
Mhm.
think it was a bad cut of meat.
Yeah.
It was not good. And I wish I should have told Kimmy, don't do it because I know it's not Wagyu.
Mhm.
It wasn't graded. They had like no marbling
Yeah.
whatsoever.
sadly.
The filet mignon would have been better probably.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
that filet mignon is so boring. But I'm like, how
That's why I didn't want
Yeah.
to go with it. I was like,
they
let me
tricked
try
you.
something else.
Little
They
tricksies with the Wagyu.
Green beans were excellent, and the Yukon potato puree was fantastic. So everything else about it was a good, good entree.
Also, like everyone's medium was a little medium rare.
Yeah.
But it was
that's so I ordered my medium, and it came out medium rare. If you ordered it medium rare, it came out rare.
but yeah, it wasn't a good cut of meat. So yeah, they were also busy that night, which was odd.
They were. So it was a Saturday, and it was Run Disney weekend, so there was some contributing factors for sure. But we still had a good time. Our food still came out.
What's your first drink?
The first one I had, oh gosh, it was not the throws and oh gosh,
Is it a Salon Nouveau?
no, I think I got a classic one. Oh, it was a Planter's Punch. First one was the Planter's Punch, all rum cocktails because that's my preferred spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the Throws and Maskers, which is I actually read up on this when they did the first Tiki takeover of Club 33, something that they do annually as an attraction or Adventureland themed takeover. They actually had the Throws and Maskers as a cocktail served in their first Club 33 mug. So I ordered that, which is wonderful. And then finishing off, all three of us.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay. You want to finish the grand thing?
Yeah.
Should we do the big dessert that we had all together?
Yeah, but first
You
I
wanna
want to
do your
mention I got
cocktails.
my second drink. I got the Lavender Dilly Dilly. Gin, lavender, lemon, egg white, named for the song Lavender's Blue Dilly Dilly, sung by one of Walt's close friends. This drink is as fresh as the hillside of lavender come spring. It was actually really good, really refreshing.
Wonderful.
Love a good egg white in a drink.
I would say all the cocktails I've ever had there.
Yeah,
Excellent.
fantastic.
They have a really good cocktail program.
We did also at this point, meet the member
Mhm.
who
Our
thank-
host, our
yeah,
generous host.
Thank you again, Mr. Member.
Yeah.
It was nice meeting you. I did want to be like, hey,
Yeah.
I want to thank you because
Yep.
you don't know me.
Genuinely, yeah.
And so very kind of them, and hope to see you in the lounge, my friend.
One day.
Yeah,
We're
not
gonna make it
not
happen.
honestly, not just to get me in the lounge.
Yeah.
Like I've said before, I want to hang out with this person.
Yeah. And you should.
Yeah.
He's a delight.
Yeah. So thanks again. Yeah. So it's like, sorry guys, like brother of a friend. I can't help you get in.
No, absolutely not.
But yeah. So then we ordered our desserts because you have to.
We did. Yes.
I got the chocolate passion fruit bar, which was okay, but it came with a really good ice cream with like chocolate covered Rice Krispies or something.
Nice.
And Kimmy got the pineapple sticky toffee pudding,
which is what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay.
It was fine. It was wonderful. But by that time, we had already had our Club 33 cake.
Yeah. Freddie balled out for his wife, 33rd birthday, with this beautiful cake.
Oh,
just blue and gold with the 33 emblem and these beautiful little like curtain things.
I know those
golden candles. And I love that they come in and go, like they let you take all your little pictures.
Yep.
And they go, all right, we'll cut this into 7 slices and box it up for you.
Yep.
And I had a little, this is the one time I was like, the fondant is acceptable because the cake was beautiful.
Yep. It was gorgeous. Yeah. I will say the fondant made it a little bit more difficult to eat just because there was so much
around in there, but
yeah, but I think we were all just absolutely stuffed and very happy.
Yeah.
And really it was just like you only get to celebrate your 33rd in Club 33 once in your life. I really wanted to make sure that was special for Anna and that she got to experience that. That was perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after we got our cake, then we got our desserts, and by that time I could only eat a quarter of it, and I'm like, and we're done. We're KO.
Okay. So now this is where the old Kirk strategy comes in.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not a bang for your buck strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna enjoy the experience, have your unique time.
Yeah.
Strategy. The thing with like fine dining restaurants, the best dishes are the small ones because one, the ingredients are usually better. It's more of like a fine dining thing. And because of that small thing, you keep eating without being full, or if you must consume that many calories because it's like tiny little stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't need a steak at Club 33. Although that spanakopita you guys got that one time was fantastic. But so I wasn't as full. But yeah, we also got our coffee. I had like 3 coffees.
Yes.
Different cups.
But we did put in our last order.
Yeah. So we told your brother that there's this drink that we got last time called Stiggins Room. And it's just a bunch of rum. And he's like,
of course.
Well, I have to get that. I'm like, cool. So the waiter came around. Very nice man whose name I remember, but we use discernment here.
Yes.
When talking about Club 33. So three Stiggins Ruins, please.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's overproof rum, pineapple rum, creme de poire, which is a pear liqueur, and Gran Classico, which is another liqueur.
Yep.
So it's 2 rums and 2 liqueurs.
Yep.
No,
on ice.
No extra ingredients, on ice in a nice little glass.
Perfect.
And we decided that we would read from the sacred text before drinking. And this is what we'll do going forward if given the chance. So, Reverend Stiggins was a well-known character in the Crescent City. He would often enjoy a cocktail, or 2, or 3, which ultimately led to his ruin. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, Reverend Stiggins is a character in a Charles Dickens novel, or Charles Dickens' work. It's the paper or something. It's okay. I remember it. He was a reverend who preached temperance, which is not drinking. And he drank too much pineapple rum.
Yep.
So love some good lore.
Mm-hmm.
This tasted even better than last time.
Last time it was a little too much rum and not enough liqueur.
But then when it like the ice melted, we were like, this is really good. But this like
perfect.
I think when you're expecting to be punched in the face,
you're
like, oh, this is really good.
This is wonderful.
So it was fantastic. I could drink 4 of these.
Dangerous.
It will ultimately lead to my ruin.
Yeah.
But it was fantastic.
It was perfect.
Kimmy and I went out onto the balcony for a second to watch a little bit of Fantasmic, which was cool to see. All the effects were working.
Yeah.
All the pyro was going off. There was no fireworks that night, like the show, but the fireworks in Fantasmic were going. So it was a good time. Fantasmic is loud. You can hear it inside.
Yes, you can.
But we had a great little time. Got our little photos.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, couldn't get some of the merch because it was either sold out or unavailable to us.
Yeah, members only.
But that's okay.
That's all.
Or they only had weird sizes, or they added an extra decimal point to this plain ring that we still can't figure out.
Because the value is of no.
Dude, I would have
just
bought an index finger ring with a 33 stamp on it.
Yeah,
But it was not $195. It was $19.95, and no. Absolutely not.
Yep.
There's no metal that's worth that much. There was no stone in it. Anyways, had a great time. Thank you again to the member. Thank you again to Freddie. I guess we could say that.
You can.
We know everyone knows you're the one getting us in there. By proxy.
Proxy.
Freddie cannot get you in.
I cannot.
Freddie is getting himself in.
Only once.
Once.
Yeah.
and happens to pull people in.
Yeah.
Somehow getting the 8-person reservation available. So yeah, shout out to everyone.
Sometimes it's just about who you know in life, folks. That's just what happens.
It is.
Life is a journey. You meet people along the way, and developing those friendships, including friendships with you, is just one of those things that makes life sweeter.
I was going to tell you that night. Last time we went, we were friends. Maybe you'd been on the pod for like special, like let's call Freddie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd all hang out too.
Yeah.
But then, I still felt like really lucky to have been involved in all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, Freddie, somewhat new friend, whatever. But like, since then, we've become better friends. You become more of a friend of the show. The Tram fam knows you, wedding stuff, life stuff. And so I felt like, it wasn't just like, oh, great, like got to hang out with my friend. I also felt less guilty about being there. Like, it wasn't like, I'm using Freddie to get into Club 33. It was like, oh, I went to Club 33 with Freddie again.
Yeah.
And my cousin Autumn went, how did you manage to get in there again? And I'm like, luck of the draw, man.
Yep.
And it's cool that our wives are friends. So
that's important.
Yeah, that is important. So thank you, Anna, for being a friend and inviting us to your birthday party. Because that is really what happened. We got invited to Anna's birthday party. Last year was John's secret engagement.
It's a little bit different. Yeah.
Which just involved a birthday party a little bit. So great time. Always hoping to be back. But yeah, I will say the food was better the first time.
It was.
Yeah. And that's not just because that was the first time. It was a little better menu.
It was. Yeah, I can agree.
You don't need to put 2 steaks on there.
No.
Put a little bird. It's okay. It was still good. Great experience. The purse had a little perch to put on.
That was new from last time. That was cool.
Yeah. So shout out.
I think he's out here.
Yeah, Club 33. A cool thing, and a cool thing that I hope people are able to experience. I don't want to
at least once in your life. Yeah. If you have the pleasure to do it, absolutely take up that opportunity.
Yeah. And it's much easier to ask people to get you in for lunch.
Yeah.
So good luck out there.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, it looks like it's
pizza time.
Oh yeah.
Time for one last bite. What's beyond the yellow line for you, Freddie? I'm only going to allow you the number one thing you're looking forward to in Orlando. Don't say the Tiki Celeste Tiki.
No, definitely not. In fact, I don't think that it's going to be.
Is there something in which you are excited for, but you don't know what to expect out of it? Unspoiled. Or like you don't fully know how it's going to be,
I have not watched ride-throughs of anything at Epic Universe so that I experience it. I have seen very little of the Beacon Barrel, which is the Pirates of the Caribbean Oga's Cantina counterpart at Magic Kingdom. That is a huge, I have saved space in my luggage so that I can buy the Captain Jack skull mug.
How big is this mug?
It's a little skull mug.
Oh, okay.
It's easy. It's
fine.
But we're pretty much backpacking this one. This is a flying in with a backpack, and that's it.
Why don't you do a carry-on?
We're not. We're just trying to do. That's it. That's all we're going for.
But why not the carry-on?
I'm not going to get into that.
Oh, it's not.
I'm not going to get into that.
Never mind.
But I would say I was going to run through all these things. But
okay, you can run through them.
I'm running through. I'm just going to run through what we have. Yak and Yeti restaurant at Animal Kingdom, Beacon Barrel for lunch and drinks, and then the Jungle Navigation Skipper Canteen for dinner,
of course.
And then for day 2, we're going to be doing the Nine Dragon restaurant. I believe that's in the China Pavilion at Epcot. Then we're going to go to Geo 82, the bar
Heck yeah.
inside of Spaceship Earth. Got to do that. Got to have at least one drink there. And then finishing off at Le Cellier Steakhouse
Dang.
for dinner.
Very nice.
So all things I look forward to. Yeah, that'll be good for me. That's it. And we will definitely get into that in the future.
Are you doing Epic?
Yes, we're doing Epic. I have not planned out.
Okay.
Epic,
Which attraction are you most excited for? Harry Potter or
Monsters?
I was gonna say it's the
Monsters
Monsters.
Unchained. What people have said is the number one attraction in the world right now. But I do fear for how much is working and how much is not. That is a constant fear for everything over there at Universal.
So it goes.
So we will see. But I have purchased my whatever the front of the line pass is. I've splurged the money so that I can go to a theme park and not have to think about how I'm going to access or wait 200 minutes for a Harry Potter ride. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to go and we're going to walk around. If we're not riding a ride, we'll have the time to actually enjoy and look at the space. And that's the most important part.
If I have to pick one thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, you know what? Here's my new thing. Because I swapped something in my travel plan in which the Tokyo Disney Resort charges you for the entire trip and hotels and fast passes and restaurants again, and then refunds you the old one instead of charging you the $100 difference. I'm looking forward to Restaurant Sakura. So we originally had, for some reason, you can book what's the tangled thing? The birdie, the Snuggly Duckling.
Snuggly Duckling.
Andrew, wanderingatdisney.com, said it sucks. Just walk in, take a look, and walk out.
Cool.
And also, it's a quick service.
Yeah.
And he put, so we're doing Magellan's. There's a Restaurant Sakura, which is Japanese food on the American waterfront. There's the one inside the steamship, but he gave that a 7.5 out of 10.
Dang.
He gave Sakura a 9.5. And then there's the Italian one. It's also a 9.5. Looks beautiful. However, we have the Venice Canal view, so I'm like, I don't need the view.
Yeah.
Right?
You already have
And I don't
one.
need another like pizza in Japan. I'm already doing a pizza in Japan.
Yeah.
And the Sakura has Japanese food, katsu, seafood. And he said on that trip, it was the best thing he ate in Japan. So I went with that one. So I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, the whole trip, I'll be on a plane in a week.
Woohoo.
Looking forward to not taking that many clothes with me and buying a bunch of stuff at Uniqlo. Not for any reason besides I don't like all the clothes I have right now. Apparently the best t-shirt good friend of the show, Ricardo, owns is $6
Nice.
from Uniqlo. So
Perfect.
I'll be looking for those. Yeah. But anyways, with that,
Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you real soon. Oh, I did it. I'm so sorry.
see you real soon. Bye.
Thanks for traveling with us today, and we hope you have a happy and memorable visit to the Disneyland Resort. Please lower your head, watch your step, and exit to the driver's right-hand side only.